veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la, 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 la. And I'm up again. I got tired eyes, need a cup of blend. That's right, in the AM, that's my only friend. No light, just the sun coming up on the horizon. I lose track of time, yeah, I move fast and climb a new class divine, yeah, true passion shines. And I'm through passing time, I choose stacking dimes. You snooze half the time while I move passing by. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la, 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 la. I've been driving this train, years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la, 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 la. And I'm up again. I got tired eyes, need a cup of blend. That's right, in the AM, that's my only friend. No light, just the sun coming up on the horizon. I lose track of time, yeah, I move fast and climb a new class divine, yeah, true passion shines. And I'm through passing time, I choose stacking dimes. You snooze half the time while I move passing by. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la, 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 la. veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la 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 la. And I'm up again. I got tired eyes, need a cup of blend. That's right, in the AM, that's my only friend. No light, just the sun coming up on the horizon. I lose track of time, yeah, I move fast and climb a new class divine, yeah, true passion shines. And I'm through passing time, I choose stacking dimes. You snooze half the time while I move passing by. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la 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 la. La 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 la. Oh, 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 la 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 la. La 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 la. 'Cause I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la 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 la. La 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 la. Oh, oh, and I'm up again. I got tired eyes, need a cup of blend. That's right, in the AM, that's my only friend. No light, just the sun coming up on the horizon. I lose track of time, yeah, I move fast and climb a new class divine, yeah, true passion shines. And I'm through passing time, I choose stacking dimes. You snooze half the time while I move passing by. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la 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 la. La 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 la. Oh, 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 la 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 la. La 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 la. Ice in my veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no, I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la 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 la, la 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 la, oh, oh, la 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 la, la 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 la, 6 a.m. and I'm up again. I got tired eyes, need a cup of blend. That's right, in the AM, that's my only friend. No light, just the sun coming up on the horizon. I lose track of time, yeah, I move fast and climb a new class divine, yeah, true passion shines. And I'm through passing time, I choose stacking dimes. You snooze half the time while I move passing by. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no, I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la 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 la, la 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 la, oh, oh, la 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 la, la 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 la, oh, ice in my veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like,
Yes, good people. Big up to all of you. I appreciate you all once again for finding the time to be with me on another Chelsea match preview show where we'll uh, look at the games players to look at for injury news, team news, everything about the upcoming game against Crystal Palace at the Bridge tomorrow, and then we will also embark on the match. What's it called? A lineup prediction exercise, a proper where we'll try, given what we know so far. It's been difficult because we don't know much about the manager. We will try to correctly predict the manager's lineup for our home game against Crystal Palace in the Premier League. And then as the show progresses, if anything, serious news emerges, we will the rest assured this will be the first place you hear about it. As per the transfer market, where we still do a preview show on that, how well we did, players we missed out on players we shouldn't have signed that we signed. And whatever your opinion is, just make sure you don't miss it. It will be scheduled today, definitely. But more importantly, I do hope you're all doing well. Once again, I appreciate you all finding the time to join me today. Sorry, I'm struggling with cold, so my throat itches a lot. And here is a link to our membership. If you want to become a paid member of the community for exclusive content, up to you. You don't have to do that to be. Again, we appreciate you all. And we have Brianni Yahayu ID Crisis is saying from Charity FC to Carefree FC to Project FC to Kindergarten FC to Trust the Process FC to Vibes FC to now Mandem FC. It's we've come a long way, but I really do like that one. It's a good sign, isn't it? Wouldn't you say? I want to hear you, but I like that one. Thank you so much for finding the time to be with us now. And we have who else do we have here? Give me 1 second here. Um, the normality. Okay, the normality channel with Riley Taylor. Riley, thank you so much for finding the time to be with us. Sincerely do appreciate you. So, people, if you're just joining us, keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. I will try the best I can. I don't know whether the panelists are a lot, whether they do have that have the time to be join me so you can get a diversified opinion and not just me waffling to you. But just give me 1 second here. Let me take care of this. Yep. And before we continue, please do us a favor. Those of you who are following the show, but for one reason or the other, you're not able to participate in the chat, just know that we appreciate you. And that's because you following the show alone does go a long way. But we want to ask you for one favor, one tiny bitty favor, which is to take a second and drop a like on the stream for us. And also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And those of you following the show on X, we equally appreciate you. But we want to ask you for one favor, which is also to like the video, share the video to help us reach more people, and also follow our X account to help us reach a 5K followers as soon as possible. But thank you once again to all of you. You are much appreciated, greatly appreciated to say. All right, let's get into it without wasting much of your time. More comments to read before moving on. And please, let's try the best we can to keep the topics aligned. If you want me to read whatever you have there, let the topic be aligned. Otherwise, I'm going to skip it and assume you're having a good conversation with a community member there. Yep, evening to you too. How's everything? I can't complain. Lucula, thank you so much for joining us. I do hope your absence simply means that you've been busy and nothing bad has happened on your end. Always nice to see you. We have Brianna, how you saying? Didn't you read what Nani told Sancho about the CFC culture? Shanks and he knows Sancho got him. Yep, that what a talent we've signed there, and I'm not too concerned that I'm not actually concerned that we didn't sign a number 9. Let's just have a bit of conversation with regards to how the transfer window panned out. But I want to move on from it quickly because we will do a review show. Sancho is an excellent baller. He would do well under our new manager. I didn't read that, but I haven't seen it. Rain, nice to see you, Rain. Nice to see you, Rain. I do hope you're doing well, and I appreciate you finding the time to join the show. Big up to you too. The Prince is here, as the band was saying. How was yesterday? For me, it was fine. As exciting as always. I want to ask, please, as a brother, what's next for Victor Osimhen? Because this is so bad a circumstance for him. I don't think so. Chances are he knew exactly what he was doing. The Saudi window is still open, and he could still join them. I'm not concerned about Osimhen. No, I'm not at all. If anything, if he has issues, he should go ask his agent some questions. Honestly, I don't want that to. I don't want to bother myself with that at all. But Rain, nice to see you. Yep, I do not have an umbrella, so please do not make it a rain. And I have my bro Jay, the 2 a.m. guy in the house. Jay, nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well, and I appreciate you finding the time to join the show this particular morning. And Vic, that's another bro I hate to love. But Vic, nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's see. I usually question Chelsea signings, but the last 3, we can all. Let me see what he has to say here. I'm gonna move on. I don't want to talk about the transfer window today. Okay, he says, but the last 3, we can all agree, let's give them a go. I really like Sancho, Felix, and Pedro. Those are good, excellent signings. But a lot of people still will not be okay with the window because we did not sign a striker. But honestly, right now, I do not want to talk about the transfer window. We're here to preview our game, our home game against Crystal Palace tomorrow, Premier League game, to be more specific. Big up to you too, Tebe. Nice to see you, brother. I do hope you are doing well, and I appreciate you finding the time to join the show this particular morning. And Jesus is King, indeed. Watching from Ghana, thank you so much, my Ghanaian bro. Sincerely do appreciate you, and I hope you're doing well. More likes, people. More likes, 24 likes. And we're just 19 minutes into the show. Let's see if we can get it to 100 likes as soon as possible. And Siaka, South Africa, nice to see you, my bro. Okay, which means hello in okay, how do you pronounce that? But let me go through with the reading. On Thursday or Wednesday, I found out that Chelsea Football Club have a partnership with MS Cruising. let me see that cruises MSC cruises. I think it's a good business investment or partnership, whatever it is. At least we're making some money from there. Big up to you too. Right now, I'm gonna bring up the presentation window so we can look at the teams, see if any of the teams has injury issues, and then we can move on. No transfers today. We're gonna do a review on that another day. For me, I'm happy with what we did. In my opinion, it wasn't perfect, but you can argue we're good. We're good to go. If the manager knows what he's doing, we're seriously good to go. The same energy, no no you could say no bias. Yes, coach, and the beautiful game. Let's not talk about strikers. I just watched Haaland big up. It doesn't. We don't have to have Haaland to to score as many goals as they scored on the day. In my opinion, what if he was marked out of the game? It simply means they're not going to have goals. But here's the thing: we get into it. We have a lot of goal scorers, and I don't want us to get to that right now. Maybe after previewing the game, we get to that, please. But nice to see you, bro. I hope you're doing well. Oh, yes, coach, that's how you ask for it. More likes, more likes. That's really helped me. Hit the like button, people. Yes, 27 likes. Let's get it to 100 as soon as possible. I have my bro and the legendary Bobby is in the house. Let's see. We will get to the match preview exercise immediately without waste of time. And if your topics aren't aligned, I'd assume you're having a good conversation with someone in the chat. And Tobejo is saying here, yes, people, go and check out Tobejo's YouTube channel. Subscribe. Be sure to let him know I sent you so that we can help him get to 1,000 subscribers as soon as possible. He's a brother I love so much, and to be more specific, he's my brother from the Madiba land, and he's been helpful. He does when he helps you, he does that wholeheartedly, without expecting anything back from you, and that's why I'm hoping he gets monetized very soon so that I can shock him. As Nigerians would say, it will shock you. We're winning tomorrow, according to Melody Chukwudi. Darling, I appreciate you, Mr. Melody, for finding the time to join us. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes that do go a long way. Bobby, big up to you. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show this particular morning. I'm going to start by asking you, afternoon for me, sorry. Apologies to you all. I'm still tired from yesterday, I have to be honest. Bobby, let me ask you this question. Are you looking forward to this game? I just want to know. Mm.
Rehearsed enough, integrated enough to do that. Well, the Severts display was very disturbing. I think our problem lies in midfield. It's a very hollow midfield.
But to be
Uh,
fair, against Savard, we made 9 changes, and that's
Doesn't
almost
matter.
that will almost always be the case when you make that many changes.
Yeah, but we should. I mean, our aim is to be able to make 9 changes and not really notice it too much.
I
That's
think
always the
if
aim.
that would be the case to mid-season, maybe onwards, in my opinion. But go ahead.
Yeah. Anyway, but moving on, I was pleased to see that Kani Chukwumeka is still in the squad. I hope he's training with the squad, and I hope Enzo Maresca has a rethink because that nonsense he's doing with Kieran Dewsbury Hall, who we've just wasted 30 million on. I don't get it at all. I don't get it. I don't get it. It needs to be Carney there, and I hope against Palace he'll do that because the midfield is dreadful. It is dreadful. And even if Carney's played in the advanced role, he drops back better, he tackles better, he wins the ball, he's better in the air, he's better at passing, he's better at dribbling. I mean, what I'm lost for words. But for the game tomorrow, yes, it's winnable. We can win it if we plug the midfield. It's really that straightforward.
Yep, we can win it. but we have to play like it's a final. We don't. I think we have a much better squad than Crystal Palace. If we go into the game with the mindset that we've won that game already, which you could argue we had a lot of issues like that last season, and on the ground, on the Porta, on the Mauricio Pochettino. I hope has changed, but we'll see. Yes, bro, we did move
How
on a
can you
lot of players,
possibly?
and we did bring in a lot of good players too. So I'm looking forward to the coming season. Go ahead, Bobby. You were saying something.
No, I don't buy that mindset, coach. I don't think they will. How can you possibly have that mindset? What have we done?
I'm saying, but that has happened a lot in the past, especially with this young squad. When you think
No.
we mop the Stamford Bridge carpet with the opposition, we end up faltering. We ended up
Yeah, that's
faltering
the
last
that's the
season, last
fan
two
base.
season. But hopefully that's not going to be the case this season. But go ahead with what you were saying.
That's the fan base, not the players. The players won't think like that. Gosh, the players know they've got a lot of work to do before they get into that luxurious position to be able to look down on anybody. Anybody. It's the fans that some of the fans still living in the old Roman Abramovich era, thinking that there are teams that are lesser in terms of performance. Look, let's be real. The talent we have, once they're well integrated and well rehearsed, they should be able to brush aside Palace. But at the moment, the question is, are we there or not? Maybe partially. With each passing game, we get closer to that goal.
Yeah. All right. I'll come back to you in a bit, Bobby. And once we're done, I think we will schedule, like as I've said, we'll schedule a show to review how well we did in the market, or whether we did miss out on some important. You can say we should have signed certain players, and whether we shouldn't have signed certain players. We get to that in a bit. To another day, so to speak. Chelsea should not give any hope to Palace. The Waywolves were coming at us at the back line. Let's see what happens. I think the manager, he's a smart guy, and one thing I like the most about him is that he's flexible. He's not bent on approaching the game a particular way without without an open mind. He always changes things in game. Even sometimes you'd expect it start the game one way. You'd see us play it differently. Thank you so much, Wickler Barish. Nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well. And Temi Dio Luwarakemi, I haven't seen you in a bit. I do hope you're doing well, but thank you for finding the time to be with us today, Bon. Always nice to see you. Let's see what else we have here. Serenata saying midfield is dreadful. Wait until brother comes to defense. You bet midfield will look like Rolls Royce compared to add defensive substitutes. I'm guessing. Anything else here? Keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. More likes, people. More likes. 30 likes. Let's see if we can get it to 100 as soon as possible. We're going to beat Palace. That's according to Nemanja Fowole. Okay, coach. Who do you think will win the league? Not right now. We'll do a show. It will be scheduled soon, and I did promise you guys that the moment the transfer window closes, we will schedule a show on the sister channel where we will analyze the signings of each club and then predict who wins and who predict the teams that will get relegated. Yep. So I'm not going to say anything now. Let's see. Arsenal will bottle it. It's too early to say. Again, we don't have anything to work with right now. We'll see what happens. So let's get into it. We're there, and Fort Mob, they're predicting, I think, the same thing really for me. They're predicting that Sanchez starts. It's shocking, right? The two centre backs, Levi Colwell and Wesley Fofana. Left back, Mark Correa. And right back, Marla Custo. 266 Enzo Fernandez, Moises Caicedo. With Enzo Fernandez, he will be allowed the independence to be wherever he deems fit on the pitch, so that he can help us dictate the pace of the game. Left wing, Pedro Neto, no surprises there. Noni Madueke, who's on fire right now. Right wing, Tanner Cole Palmer, and Nicholas Jackson, number 9. For them, they have Mark Gohi. He's still there, didn't get to leave. Nathaniel Klein is still there. Richards, Michel Hughes, Watson, Kamada, Daichi Kamada, and Eberichi Eze. Still a good 11 for us. Do we have any injury issues? Reece James and Romeo Lavia. It's gone from Okay, early September. That we've been told that early. Same thing with reasons for them. Chadi Riyad and Matthias França both out. Okay, we'll come back to that in a bit. Let's see if anything else I have to address. Please, let's keep the topics aligned. If you want the panelists to address whatever you have in the chat there. We are flushing out the players to Arsenal and Man United, our two favorite customers, stealing our best players. Thankful to them for easing our depth. Yeah, I think I agree with that. And Newton midfield versus defense. Defense never got a level playing field on social media. I think midfield is worse. And you could argue the defensive issues we've heard stem from our midfield not doing enough to protect our defensive line. But I think the manager will find a good solution to that. If the players, I think inverting the fullbacks will help fortify the midfield in terms of defensive actions. So I'm not too concerned. He will find a solution to that until again Romero Lavia, in my opinion, who's our best six, returns to full fitness. Casado can actually do well as a six, but as Bobby did mention the other day, it takes him time. To reach the same level wavelength maybe with his teammates, so he's still in the South American competition. He's not back yet, but he picked up in the second half against Wolves. So let's see what happens. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. Sincerely do appreciate you all finding the time to join the show this particular afternoon. For me, I nearly said morning again because I'm used to saying morning. 1 second, people. I'll get back to you. Let me make sure Dante is ready to speak. I don't want him to fight me. Duran, I've always liked him, but Chelsea fans, if you're not playing for one of the biggest clubs in world football, they're not going to like you until you come and prove them wrong. Duran would have been a good signing for us, in my opinion, but we can do without a striker. That's just me. I know a lot of people will think otherwise. Nice to see you, Jerry. Thank you so much for finding the time to join the show. I do hope you're doing well. More likes, people. More likes. 33 likes. Let's try and get it to 100 likes as soon as possible. And Newton is saying, many social media lot defend our midfield and go against defense. For me, midfield it's an issue, but one that can be solved. We have the players can not. Let's wait and see what the manager does. I don't want to get into that argument. Anything else? Lucilla here is saying inverting Gusto to midfield is weakening the right side. I disagree. We do that. You can say, what's the term I'm using for? We do that strategically. We don't do that all the time. Sometimes you see our fullbacks
Which
operating as traditional,
I really want
operating as.
us.
Go
I
ahead,
really
Bobby.
want us to address this topic because it's part of the whole preview. We can't skirt over it as if it doesn't exist. The whole midfield issue is a worthy topic. This is a serious thing. Our
Hmm.
midfield, what I'm beginning to suspect is that we're pandering. We want to, let's play this player, let's play this player. No, we must be brutally honest if we're going to succeed. And being brutally honest, the midfield is hollow. This inverting this and inverting that. Let's go back to basic principles. Right now, it's not working. And the basic principles is that having two little fellas, um, uh, um, and slightly out of form Caicedo and a Enzo is not working. Hence Chukwemeka. Now, the decision that has to be made is what changes are you going to have the courage to make? Now, left to me, what I would say, let Cucurella play the left back he plays, let Gusto play the right back he plays, and let's focus on what the problem is making us so hollow in midfield. It's the trio. We're missing Ugochukwu to play alongside Caicedo, and we're missing Gallagher to be that destroyer further forward.
Bobby, we're not
So,
missing Gallagher. We're not.
so
I
wait.
totally disagree. We're not missing
Well,
him. The
let
manager
me
is trying.
land. Let
Let me
me
just get
land.
something quickly, Bobby. The manager is trying to implement a new approach, whether it's you could say novice to a lot of the players we have. It's going to come across as if
Co-
it's not working. But if you
Coach,
understand football, of course I know you do. But there are other things that are infuriating you, in my opinion, that has led to you not
no,
objectively paying attention to
no,
the situation because you're not
no,
happy. I don't think we have
coach,
that much of an issue.
coach,
It's a matter of the players getting used to the application. And in my
coach.
opinion, I think if you think the midfield is hollow, inviting players can help add numbers to the midfielders, and then we will not have too much of an issue in the midfield.
Yeah,
And
and
if
the
you pay
opposition
attention to
is
the way
going to
we
sit
press
back.
now, under
The,
Mauricio Pochettino, Gallagher does all the work, does all the running, but under Enzo Maresca, we do press as a unit. One
yeah, in the
person isn't
second half
carrying the
against
load of
Wolves.
the whole thing. So I'm not going to say we're missing Gallagher. I disagree, but go ahead with what you were
Let,
saying.
Yeah, let me land. I mean, look, whether you want to pin it down to individuals, I only name these individuals because, like Gallagher in particular, was with us. He's gone. He's there's no point in mentioning him. But we are missing that solidity in midfield. It's obvious. We invert and we're hollow. There are gaps on the flanks because our left and right backs are moving in midfield. So any fast break, there's space, there's acres of space. When they move out of midfield, we've got two little fellas that are struggling. Right. So as not to waste time, let me tell you what I believe the solution
Mm,
is.
mm.
We need to focus. If, for example, we have a back three of a back four of Gusto, right back, he will always play at the moment. Colwill and Fafana, left back, Cucurella. I will then look at the centre back three before I pick the forwards. I mean the midfield three before I pick the forwards. And my midfield three would be Caicedo because we have Renato Vega, and I would be bold enough to put Enzo on the bench and put Carney there. And then from there, I pick the front three. That's how I'll do it. Maybe Madueke might have to drop to the bench and come from the bench. Jackson would have to play up top. Definitely Palmer has to go on the right. And I would start, what's his name? Pedro Neto on the left. So our
Bobby,
bench would be,
Bobby, Palmer isn't going to be playing on the right mid, except if someone else. If we're playing with a structure that accommodates a 10, Palmer plays in the 10 role. I think I've seen enough to know that's going to be the case under Maresca. But go ahead with what
well,
you're saying.
Palmer and Chukwemeka play very well together, as do Palmer and Madueke. But I'm looking at the midfield as a problem that needs to be solved. So I will play him with Chukwemeka. Palmer can drift out wide, he can drift in. It really doesn't matter because so long as the midfield is strong enough, Gusto can overlap. Let's be solid for once. We're hollow, we're empty. I don't know whether he's trying to. Football is you start with basic principles first before you start getting all fancy and complicated and this, that, and the third. Right now, our midfield is making our defense look stupid. And if we face a team that's a lot better than Servet's, yeah, the excuse is we changed 9 players. Okay, acceptable. But against Wolves in the first half, it was terrible. Even in the second half, we kind of got away with it. You know, we scored a lot of goals and we demoralized them. But against a better team, I think we need to be careful. And that's just the point I'm making. I don't
No,
want us
I
to
do
have to
understand. I'm
learn.
just saying we're not missing Gallagher. That was my counter argument at the time. Because
Okay,
we played
well,
differently.
since
Yeah.
Gallagher is the bee in your bonnet, that's fine. But But my concern is I don't want us to be punished because it's very important now that we go on a winning run. I'm hoping this September we win all our games. We have a 100% record. That's my prayer for September because it will really help the team in terms of their confidence, in terms of their integration and belief in the system. And that will struggle to happen if the midfield is left as porous as it's been. I rest my case.
Yeah, it's a case indeed. You are Gallagher's lawyer. Gallagher, I think he started today, actually, by the way. And Mikhail, nice to see you, bro. I do hope you're doing well. Always, always nice to see you. I appreciate you finding the time to join us. So Maresca's, okay, the one calling the players he called Sancho is not a yes man. I'm not going to even get into the argument, but yeah, he's not a yes man in my opinion. You still ask people, they tell you he's just doing it because he was asked to do it. Let's see. A big up to you to panel and chat. Bobby Mikhail is saying hello to all of us, and Dante the same thing. Smash the like button, people. Yes, yes,
Big
yes,
up,
people.
Mikael.
35 likes. Let's try and get it to 100 likes as soon as possible. Anything else? Wycliffe Barush. Good thing we have a strong bench. But one thing I can agree with Bobby is that we have an issue. We had an issue in the midfield against Wolves. And you can say in the majority of the games we played under Maresca, but I believe that can be sorted out. When Romeo Lavia he was available, yeah, he did prove that. Yeah, it's his own. The midfield is his own at Chelsea, if that makes sense. And Newton is saying we won 5 games due to Badiashile and Kukurea. We just lost 1 game against City. Thus, this year, you mean? Okay, this year. I don't know why we are going against the defense so quick. It's definitely agenda. No, I think Houston, in all honesty, Bobby is correct. Our midfield was hollow. Our midfield was the reason why we had so much pressure on our defense. They weren't doing much. You can't argue against City.
It's the reason why we
Casado
lost
was
to
as poor.
City.
Just one second, Bobby. Casado was as poor as he was when what's his name? Lavia went off because he wasn't, you could say, still picking up, not fully fit at the time. So it's a correct argument. Go ahead, Bobby. Were you saying something?
I was saying the midfield was why we lost to City.
Yeah,
If we
yeah,
remember that second
yeah,
goal,
yeah.
where Kovacic, that scores once every 100 years, just waltzed through. There was
Yeah,
no resistance, nothing, as hollow as it comes. The midfield
and
is making the defense look bad.
and
And there's
and
someone
and
saying
Casado
Bobby is
literally
drunk.
said, "Welcome, my friend."
Yeah, I mean that's just someone saying Bobby is drunk. But
Yeah, but if
that's
you watched it,
that's
I think it was lack of fitness. He's not full. It wasn't, but he's gotten better. I hope. Made a lot of mistakes. Also, he was a bit clumsy. The first 15, 25 to 20, 30 minutes against Wolves or so. I could be wrong.
coach.
The
Let me
midfield
tell you,
is easily.
we've
Yeah,
watched
go ahead.
Caicedo. Caicedo is most effective where he has somebody close to him in the middle of the park. That's when he can really express himself. He's a ball winner, not necessarily positionally a positional interceptor. So he performs better with a DM or a very aggressive presser in front of him. And at the moment, he has neither. Having said that, when Enzo upped his game against Wolves and started pressing and playing like Dennis Wise, Caicedo looked better, if you notice, and he could
Mm,
function. So it's
mm.
not much, but the midfield, if we get it right, we're going to be a very, very scary
I
team.
think he will. The manager is a smart man. I think he will. More likes, people. More likes. Let's massively boost this channel this time. Invite your friends in. Let's how'd you pronounce that word? Imbibe the culture of liking first before joining our every show. Don't do that to me again. Please use simple words, I beg. Um, we've addressed that particular comment also. It's a repeat. A big up to you to a lot of people. Mr. The CEO of Chelsea FC. Jingles, nice to see you, brother. I do hope you're doing well. We started playing only 3 games this season. Probably counting preseason games. I don't know. 2 games uh, uh, Conference League, 2 Premier League games. That's 4. I don't know. Probably counting the Inter Milan game. So not far off. Connie is staying, yes, and Bobby will be very happy. That has led to Bobby not getting his complaints so much about Drewsbury Hall, but that's another argument for another day. Connie is better than Gallagher. Let's not get into that argument, please. We're here to preview the game. We won again a 6-2 against Wolves. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't talk about the issues. And Newton, let's be honest, that we should talk about the issues we experienced that day. If you're going just by the fact that we want the game and not pay attention to the underlying issues or maybe issues we experienced that were obvious on that day, then it becomes pepper over crack. Then next game, if we're meeting a team with a very smart manager, he'd exploit those issues. If the manager doesn't address them, and then that's when everybody wakes up. 200 million worth of midfield. Two players have been disappointing. Lavia was an absolute bargain. Casado takes time. It didn't occur to me until Bobby said it, and then I paid attention. It takes him a while to pick up. Enzo Fernandez, he was excellent against Wolves. He was excellent, even he did well against Savet. So maybe the armband gives him a bit of a nudge on his behind. I love Bobby. He's brutally honest at the inverting the language from you of all people that is turning professionals to learners. If it takes too long for them to adjust, we have to revert back. The manager, he's done that. If we're paying attention, we're not inverting all the time. He knows when to do it and when not to do it, and I don't think it has actually cost us a lot of problem, in my opinion. That's good, but you could be right. I could be the one that is wrong, but in my opinion, I don't think inverting players has actually cost us the issues we're having. The issues lie elsewhere, in my opinion. But again, thank you for that. Gallagher was a natural. I'm gonna move on, but thank you for that contribution. Let's hear you once Dante speaks. We're moving on. We're getting into the match preview exercise, Prova. Dante, you heard Bobby speak about the midfield. We have an issue there, but let me see what Mikael has to say here. Bigger Bobby, Madueke exploited the Wolves' inverted left back tries and scored a hat trick because they were trying. Yeah, they were trying to again. What's the language I'm looking? The time I'm losing fear. They were trying to do what they know we were doing, but we exploited them probably because we're better prepared to do that. So good point there, Mikhail. And but let's hear you, Dante. Your opinion on the midfield issue. If you agree, we have an issue in the midfield. I agree, we have an issue, but the reason is where I disagree with Bobby. We're never on the same side, so but that's good. But let's hear you, Dante.
Yeah, big up, coach. Big up, Bobby.
Too, brother.
Everyone in the chat.
Big up, Dante.
Yeah, look, the midfield is how we play. We do not play with a traditional DM. So this is Maresca ball. He does not play the traditional DM. He inverts his fullback to help his playmaker, which is a DM. Usually. So I think we'll be seeing Enzo a little bit more deeper as we go on. The reason he got rid of Leslie Okuchukwu, one, to play more games, but also he would not be playing him much because he does not like that type of football. It's not his football. He wants possession. He wants those players in there to keep the possession. He doesn't like a traditional defensive midfielder. So that's why we let Okuchukwu go on loan. And I know Bobby likes his physicality and big guys, but that's not how Maresca sees the football. And yeah, it's down on the coach because this is his vision and his style of play. He wants us to have more possession, keep the ball. The defense is having more possession and keeping the ball away from the opposition. And in transition, you've got your left back, right back, which is inverting, who can cover. Obviously, is helping the midfield to cover that space. And once we go back into defending, they go back into the usual out wide as well, and then that covers that area as well. So it's a whole system. Exactly what Coach was saying. It's a system. It's a more system based. It's about positioning over having traditional players in traditional, like like a defensive midfielder, big guy, strong guy, can pass the ball around and be physical. Yeah, we don't. That's not how he likes to play football. He wants to have the possession. For him, defense is positioning and possession. So that's sort of my interpretation of how he likes to play, and that's why we don't have a traditional defensive midfielder. So yeah, that's pretty much on the defensive midfielder.
But can I ask? I mean, fair enough. He wants to play like that. How effective do you think that is in the Premier League? Bearing in mind that even the great Pep Guardiola tried it until he realized he had to get himself a Rodri to be able to make his game effective.
But
Remember
he still inverts players. They do that all the time.
Correct.
Yeah, but he also has solidity. You see,
He
I'm just
does.
asking a question because
No, I
the
agree, Bobby.
basic
I agree.
principle. the basic principle of the Premier League has always, and for the foreseeable, will always be that you have to fight first for the right to play. Once you win the fight, then you can play. So I really don't know how Maresca thinks this way of playing is going to be successful, but I'll leave you to answer that one because that's my question.
Yes, Bobby, and I agree. But that's Guardiola's got the perfect player though, and just like Coach was saying, he gets help from inverting. He can go forward. He pushes up. He's got an inverted fullback next to him all the time, so he can move up, and that's the same principle. But obviously, he is much more physical and he's a big guy. He's got the right profile, the right player, and players like that are very rare, pretty rare these days to find technically gifted players like that and to have the physicality to go with it. So yeah, they've got a gem there, and he gets paid a lot, and he's a world class player, one of the best, if not the best, in the world. So, but if you look past that, there's no players like that. He hasn't got any other players like that. There's none.
And
So
Dante, can we be honest here? Bobby,
I
he's made
believe
an
we do
excellent
have a
point,
player like
right?
that.
Bobby has made an excellent point. But those issues he's highlighting, the spacing behind when those guys, when the
Invert.
fullbacks invert, it's a serious issue. But
Yeah.
that's something that at the players, as the players master the application of the approach, you won't
right,
even see those spaces.
correct.
Can I
Once they
just
get the
add to that?
positioning,
You know,
Yeah.
when I
go ahead, Bobby.
watched, I really watched Leslie Ugochukwu at Stamford Bridge. I watched him closely, albeit he just came on for the second half of the second half. His ball control, his speed, his quickness of foot for a big guy was excellent, and his ability to score. I just and drive and hold the ball, and I just feel it's a bit of a waste. That's just my opinion. I
You're missing
mean,
one thing, Bobby. When you're done, I'll tell you what you're missing about Ugo Chiku.
yeah, I mean, I'm open to it. I mean, he's not with us now; he's on loan, but I think he's a miss, really.
Yeah, you could argue we could have also kept Andreas Santos. Here's the thing: one thing you miss is Ugochukwu. More importantly, he reads the game very well. That was the first thing I noticed about him. If
Yeah,
it's not putting in the tackle, he's occupying spaces that will make it difficult for the opposition to progress the ball or to do some damages. Look at. Did you see his first game for Southampton? Did you watch it?
I didn't watch it. I wish I
Ooh,
did.
okay, go check out the highlights. They were
Yeah,
Southampton fans. They're very, very happy.
I'm sure they are.
Yeah,
I'm sure they
and I'm
are. That
happy.
kid is.
Yeah, and I'm happy. Bobby Heston, he's gone out on loan. If he stayed, he won't play enough to continue developing. He won't.
Okay.
And
I don't
that's
think.
yeah,
Yeah. So
and that's the flip of the
once
coin.
he's ready, if he comes back, the manager will have no option than to accommodate him. And again, it doesn't matter how much we paid for the other guys because they've had enough time to prove that they should be starting. We're gonna move them on, and that's why Chelsea
And
refused to sell him because there were offers for clubs willing to buy him on a permanent. We said no because we
I bet.
know the sort of players he can become for us. But go ahead, Dante.
I bet
Sorry.
they were. I mean, he's the closest thing to Rodri I've seen so far in the Premier League.
oh no,
Oh yes,
that's a big stretch, Bobby. Controlling, he's
yes,
not even
yes.
close to Rodri.
I don't say that lightly. I don't say that lightly. You know, sometimes you don't have to have the history behind you to have the ability in front of you. This kid is a good player. You know,
No,
you've got
he's
to
a fine
see him
player.
in
Yeah.
person.
There's a big
You've
difference
got to.
between good and world class, best in the world. There's a big gap, massive
Well,
gap.
All right,
And
Dante,
the
let's
other
have you
thing we don't
drop so that we
see.
can get into the match preview exercise
Yep,
proper. Yeah,
we
except,
don't
was
see.
Bobby still speaking?
I think he's
no,
finished.
I've left Dante. I interrupted Dante. He needs
Okay,
to go.
because I don't want you to start accusing me of not letting you speak.
Yeah, I'll let you off this
You do
time.
that always anyway. It's okay, Bobby. We got the union letters ready, so it's all. He's getting marked. Don't worry about it.
That guy, coach, he doesn't like me anyway. He's always.
And
We
Dante
know that. Yeah.
knows.
Look, we don't see what Igochiku's doing in training week in and week out. You don't see how he's in training, so we don't know. We can't say that. Maresca does see that. His coaching staff do see that. There's a lot of other things involved than just being a good kid that's playing that looks solid when he came on and played one or two games. There's a lot more. So look, they made the decision, like Coach said, you have to choose. Do you want the player to develop 10 times quicker and play every week, or do you want the player
Out
to
of
develop?
selfishness, to be more specific.
Yeah, that,
Yeah,
and it's also down to the player too. The player has an option, and he has a say in it. He wanted to maybe to go online and play every week. He thinks he was ready. Maresca, no, you're not ready to play every week. You'll come on every now and then. So there's a lot more involved in that. So the player's left anyway. He's gone. I think it's a great decision because he will play a lot there, and he will learn. He'll get stronger. Even though the guy's strong, again, I keep saying this, but age, you look strong, but you're not really that strong. It's not a mature strength. It's just you look strong, but you're not that strong. It's when you involve the running and all the core work, you're not that strong. They still lack a lot of strength and endurance when you're that age. There's a big difference. Another 3 or 4 years from now, there's a massive difference now when you're at the professional, at the top level. There's a huge difference in how your body is, and his body's still changing as well. That's another thing. The body's still changing. When you're that age, he's still growing a little bit. He can get a bit taller. He can get a bit wider. He can develop differently. So there's a lot into it. So comparing Roger and him, it's not even close, obviously, because it's a very big difference. If
If
you see
that kid
Roger, how
grows
he's
anymore,
built.
I'll tell him. If that kid grows anymore, I'll tell him to go and play basketball.
Yeah, well,
Dante, let's
some
ask
play,
you.
unfortunately, a lot of players can't because they get too big. Yeah, they can.
Yeah,
You can grow
Dante,
too
let's
big.
ask you this question. I haven't. Your thoughts again? No, not a question really, but it's still a question. It's a question anyway. Are you looking forward to the game?
For me or Bobby? Sorry.
You, Bobby. He's answered that question.
Okay, so that's sorry, Coach. For me or for Bobby? You said he's answered that question.
You, Dante.
Me, okay. Sorry, I'm not getting it. Yeah, of course, I'm looking forward to the game. We need a response after what happened with Servette. Yeah, it's not all our players, obviously, because 9 of them or whatever differently, but we still need a response. And yeah, we'll play very different. So once the other players are in, they're more comfortable with each other. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and I think we should do pretty well.
All right, let's get into the match preview exercise proper. We'll look at a lot of stuff before doing the lineup prediction exercise. I think it's pretty much what we're seeing here. But the manager, chances are Felix gets to start. We don't know, but we'll find out. So let's look. I will vote. Who will win? I will go with Chelsea, not just because Chelsea is my club. And 78% of people believes that Chelsea will beat Crystal Palace at home. 8% thinks it ends in a draw, and 14% thinks Crystal Palace will beat us at home. Okay. What's the name of their manager again? Glesner? Is that how you say it? Yeah, Oliver. You say Glesner. Is that how you pronounce
Glasner.
it? Glasner. Okay.
Glasner.
So let's look at insights. This tells us a lot. We have scored 10 goals in our last 5 games. We've been scoring that's better than last season. We're scoring a lot of goals. Hopefully, we don't concede a lot more. Then they've scored 9 goals in their last 5 games. Wow. Just one is the difference. One is the difference. They're doing well. Chelsea haven't lost to Crystal Palace in their last 14 meetings, 14 wins, and 0 draws. That's interesting. Eberechi Eze has the most shots on target per match for Crystal Palace. This here talks about we're averaging 3 goals per match, so it's looking good. If we can defend well and score, I think we're winning this one. Adam Watson has created the most big chances. That's nothing, but the most important thing is how many goals were scored and how many goals they've scored. One better than them, and we've been averaging 3 goals per game. This usually doesn't say much because that can change like this. But before we do that, let me see what those people what they have to say here. Namara Fowler says, okay, all right. See you later, Namara Fowler. Thank you for joining. We need a clean sheet, though, Coach. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If we can defend well, we can. I think the numbers suggest, would be the most likely winner of that game because we've scored more than them and we've been averaging 3 goals per game. For them, I don't know how many nothing. It didn't say anything about how many goals they average per game. But despite the way we move on, Casado must stop as it. Let's see. Yes, this channel is what? Wow.
Bias towards defense and overhypes Lavia.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you for that contribution. We appreciate you. Let's see. What is so? Let's hear you, Dante.
Thanks,
If we're going
Luca.
by what the numbers tell us, because it's still numbers, that we have scored 10 goals in 5 games. They've scored nine. So even if again, if we're going by those two, so we're more likely to outscore them, and we've averaged 3 goals per game. Do you have anything to say with regards to the insights here, or it doesn't matter to you?
Yeah, look, it's only you're only looking at those. The friendlies don't matter that much. It's only those games that they played. The Norwich, the result for them as well. That was obviously cup competition, so it doesn't really matter. Complete different 11. Um, so yeah, it doesn't really matter too much. They've conceded goals every game. They concede goals, especially in the two Premier League. They were quite open. They did have that transition in defense where one of the defenders left, central defenders, of course. They did get a couple of new in, obviously. Shalaba can't play, but the new guy they got from Wolfsburg, he's very good, but I don't know if he's ready because he came in right at the last minute.
Uh-huh.
So they have been weakened in defense a little bit, and that's why they conceded. They're going to sit back. So we should have quite a lot of possession in this game.
All right, Bob, do you have anything to say with regards to the insights we just looked at? I mean, I think going by that alone, I'd say we're capable of winning this. And in 5 games, we won two, drew one, lost two. In 5 games, you can say pretty much the same. Yeah. They won two, drew one, lost two. So from team form is pretty much the same thing. We have James and Romeo Lavia out injured, and they have Matthias Franca and Chadi Riyad. Is that how you pronounce his last name? Out injured. But if you have anything to say there before we get to the lineup prediction exercise proper, I think we're going to beat them. But we'll talk about players to watch.
Yeah. I've
Go
got
ahead.
nothing to add. I've got nothing to add to that.
Okay. Dante, the player to watch for you.
This game, definitely Palmer. Uh, he will be playing. Hopefully, look, he could play on the right wing. You never know because this is one of those. They're gonna sit back. They're gonna be a more of a low block. Like I said, they're a bit of transition at the back a little bit at the moment. So until they start learning, they don't have the only really one central defender. So uh, they're gonna sit back and they're gonna counter attack us. So this is our probably really first real deep sort of low block we're gonna come up against. And this is the games I was saying where I wouldn't mind Palmer seeing him on the right, and then you can have Felix in behind, because then Palmer, there's a lot of you need those players, technical players. The wingers will be quite ineffective in those positions if they're sitting that back, and they've got their two wing backs as well that they play with Crystal Palace. So they got a quite an overload out wide. So I think this is a game. It's a good game for Palmer to play in the right wing, and you can have like for Gusto, he can push forward and overlap a little bit, and then you can accommodate Net if you Net on the left. You can accommodate Felix if that's the case. So yeah, that's my opinion on it. And I think this will definitely be a low block game. So this is a good game for Felix, Palmer, those type of players, those really creative players that can change a game.
In my opinion, the player to watch for me will be Pedro Neto. I think he starts this one. The manager said he wasn't ready for the Wolves game, but I think he will start this one. Felix, I don't think Felix starts. I think probably 2 more games before Felix gets the nod to start a game. But if you're in the chat, while before I go to Bobby, what player do you think we should look out for, and why you think that's the case, Bobby? The player to watch for you is who? And why, Bobby?
I also think Pedro Neto will start, and if he starts, he would be the one to keep an eye on just for the way he plays. However, having said that, defensively, you don't expect much from him. That's why I don't think uh, Joao Felix will be on the pitch as well. Certainly not to start with. And my reiteration that no matter how Maresca wants to play, his eye on the personnel in midfield is going to be so important. It's going to be so important. Look, all these teams that play Chelsea, whether home or away, they look at us as soft. So they come to rough us up. You know, look at what Wolves did to a certain extent,
Did
even
it
Man
really work for
City.
them, Bobby? Did it work for Wilson that day? I don't think it did.
No, it didn't in the end, but in the first half it did. In the second half, it may have, had it not been that Noni scored so early and kept scoring. But they roughed us up. Man City even roughed us up. So we've got to be able to resist that. And our left side will be lacking because of the sort of attacker that we have there in
Mm.
Neto or whoever we put there. So the midfield must be able to protect that left side. That's my concern. That is always my concern. I know going forward we're good, but if you don't keep an eye on what you're doing at the back, that means you're coming into a game underestimating the opposition, and that's never good in the Premier League.
Yeah, let me see. NATO should start. I think he starts. The manager last game before the presser before the Wolves game did say that he wasn't. Maybe the game might have come too soon for him, but I think he starts tomorrow. Felix, no, probably will be on the bench, but we'll still get a chance to come on. Was Sancho registered in time? I don't know. To participate tomorrow, I don't think he gets a chance to play tomorrow. Even again, it's not like we don't have numbers. We do have numbers. The argument now is who starts over the other. I don't think he will not actually be on the bench. Dante, what do you think?
Yeah, he's he probably won't start, obviously, and he will be on the bench probably because he is registered, of course. But yeah, I don't think you'll see game time. Depends on the game how it goes. If we're far ahead or whatever, then yeah, probably he might come on just because we're at home and just to
Did you
introduce him to
say?
the
Did
crowd
you
and blah.
say Sancho will be on the bench? I don't think he'd be on the bench actually.
Why wouldn't he be on the bench?
Sancho,
Yeah,
we has he even trained with the squad?
he will train a little bit. He trained. He's only had
When?
probably well, the train today.
No, no. My argument is you don't. It's not as if we're lacking numbers in that department. Really, I don't see him being on the bench. That's my opinion. But go ahead with what you were saying.
Yeah, yeah. Look, most likely not, but there is a opportunity there. He can if he wants because he did train one session, and but yeah, he probably won't. But I'm saying if he's on there, if he's on the bench, he'll probably come on for the last 5 minutes, 10 minutes, just for the crowd to introduce him, and especially if we're winning, then I can see that happening 100%. He'll come on just to to play for the crowd and kind of to welcome him. I can see that happening. Maresca's that type of guy that will do that, but that's if we're winning comfortably. I'm saying.
Bobby, do
And
you
if he's on the
agree that
bench, obviously.
would see Sancho on the bench? I disagree. I already don't like Dante, but I don't agree. I don't agree at all. But Bobby, let's hear you. Did we lose Bobby? Probably trying to unmute.
Sorry, no, we're not going to see Sancho. He might walk out at halftime and be introduced to the fans, but he's not playing. He's
Yeah,
not
they'll
Yeah, I
playing.
definitely
don't
do
think
that.
so either. Yeah,
He's not
introduction is
even.
what we'd see. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Bobby.
he's not. He's not trained with the team. He doesn't know his left from his right at the moment. They just released his confirmed video, so nah, it's too early.
Yeah, yeah,
Not
Dante.
until
Boo.
after the
Most likely,
international
yeah.
break.
Yeah, I agree with you, Dante. Boo.
Boo, boo me.
All right. We have yeah. Even if he was, even if again he's been, we've registered him. I don't think he plays a part. Palmer wins the FIFA Ballon d'Or. Beat me if you can. Temida Oluwarakemi. He's capable of doing that. Yeah, but let's see what happens. Chelsea. What? I don't like it when I see such in Kingdom. That's when I get scared. Mudryk shouldn't even be in the match day squad. I think he should. He's actually improved, but because we watch him with so much expectation, even when he does well, people don't give him credit. He wasn't bad against is it Savet? How do you pronounce it? Savet, maybe. Chelsea wins the EPL this season. Disagree at your own risk. I mean, who says we cannot? The season we just about this is the third week actually. So anything is possible. Yeah. So mathematically it's still possible. Let's see what else we have here. There's a break after this game, yeah, and I don't like it. Especially if we win tomorrow and there's a break, I'm gonna hate it. He was announced already, yeah, that's the truth. And Siaka South Africa saying if the midfield players can press forward and pass the ball to the players at the front and be solid, and be solid, have position, they will be fine. Also they need to protect the defense. That's where Bobby's complaint stems from, and that's correct. I would literally play Sancho off the bench with no training and no bonding, rather than Mudryk. Just go away. Dante, let's talk about this. I'm sure you heard me talk about it, but let's talk about that in detail or more, maybe. Under Mauricio Pochettino, we had one man doing all the pressing. Even when it seemed as if we're pressing as a unit, we weren't. Only one man runs a lot. And that's why I'm saying, and I'm serious when I say that. I'm happy Gallagher left. And I'm saying, had Pochettino remained our manager, he'd run him to the gutter, just like Thomas Tuchel did to Mason Mount. Because what Thomas Tuchel, in my opinion, appreciated the most about Thomas Tuchel, about Mason Mount, was his industry, really. Because there was a time you could say that he was mentally tired. He kept playing him because of the pressing work he does for him. His own industry, maybe. Let's talk about how we press now. We press as a unit. And against Wolves, let's not forget Enzo Fernandez. He was the guy that won the ball before passing it to Cole Palmer, who now found Nonimadu who can finish. Was that the fourth or fifth goal? I can't quite remember. But we pressed as a unit, and it was impressive to watch. And we won the ball on multiple occasions because we press as a unit. We don't have just a single individual running around and pressing as if they are high on something. It was good to see, really. But let's hear your opinion on that. The difference between that and the way we pressed on the RX. I know we've we've talked about not mentioning our X, but we just have to because the difference is clever. Let's hear you, Dante.
Yeah, exactly, coach. Look, Gallagher, everybody loved his passion, his endeavor, how he presses, plays hard, runs, but that's not always good for the team because when
And
one
not
player is
always
doing
good
it,
for
and
the player himself.
yeah, okay, well, he's a professional. He gets paid a lot of money to do that. That's his game. So I'm not too worried about that. I don't take that. That's basically mostly what he's getting paid for to do. That's his game. That's why he's at Atletico Madrid as well. They bought him and paid him all that money for that part of his game. So I don't look at it that way, but you can. That's fine. Um, he's Yeah, like you say, when you're pressing one man like that and their team can't hold up, like you're opening up spaces, you're creating channels, your positional play is horrible. And we considered a lot of goals because of that. People don't look at it that way. They just see his endeavor and his running and, how passionate he is and jumps in that. But it doesn't work when not everyone's buying in on the same thing because you can't do that. It's just out of control. And he was out of control a lot of the times. Left spaces in behind. He was always caught up the field because he's running so much. There was spaces in behind in the middle because of that reason. Yeah, it looks good optics what he does when he does do it, but as a team sense, positional play, it's not good at all. And there's a reason Maresca. Well, if he stayed, Maresca maybe would have. Actually, I don't think so. No, I don't think he would have used him at all. He would have been training with the others, like the ones he doesn't rate very much. So he wouldn't even be playing in this team because that just doesn't work and it disrupts absolutely everything. Like I said, it's good. It looks good, but you got to have that team. Atletico Madrid, he can do that because he's got other players around him that can do that and help him, and they play the same way. So that could work much better there. But here, no. Maresca's all on positioning, coach. He's all about positioning, defending with having the ball. Like I said, keeping the ball is a way of defense. That isn't one. Positional play is very big as well. So you got to be in the right positions at the right time. And we saw that, like you say, when Enzo went back into that position, he won 3 or 4 tackles in a row, got the
Yep.
ball, released the ball quickly, and we moved. So he actually did pretty well when he went back there. He needs the support next to him, yes, 100%, because he's not that quick. He can play that rough. He's got the rough in him. He can play rough and dirty and hard because that's one of the reasons he got the captain armbands as well. Maresca loves that about him. He goes in hard when he needs to, but he's not obviously the fastest. We know that. So he needs a player to help him, next to him to cope with that. Just like Jorginho did, just like Fabregas did. You need the players around like that as well. But yeah, it's definitely, like you said, we saw that in a bit of the Maresca system there when he changed it up against Wolves. It wasn't working. The first 30 minutes, it was not working. He changed it up. He changed it from a 4-2-3-1 back to his traditional 4-3-3 with the inverted back. And
It doesn't take him. You can say he doesn't wait too much to make
no,
a
he
change if
doesn't.
things aren't working, and I love that about him.
I
We've
was going
had
to say
two
you should love that
exes.
about him. That
Yeah,
was one of your big complaints with Pochettino, that he's
exactly.
not reactionary.
We've been in two relationships where
Pretty much, our two exes, they just didn't know how
the
to.
two exes in question, it always takes them like 1,000 years before reacting to the
Correct.
opposition manager's change in approach. That was,
Exactly.
look, if you remember, I was saying that I'm not gonna give up on Poch until we have all our players back, right? And then we were playing Wolves, and the Wolves manager, we started well. But the Wolves manager sensed that, yeah, if they continue the way they were playing, that we were going to mop the floor with them. He changed something around, and Poch
Yeah,
did nothing. He continued with the
correct.
same approach, and even though we were being battered, he didn't even react. We've had two exes, Poch, Potter, but now Maresca, he
The
takes,
P's.
once he sees that something isn't
The two
working
P's.
like this, he makes changes immediately. But go ahead with what you were saying.
I think we should call them the two P's from now on. The two P.
Yeah,
Poch,
the two piece that
Potter, the
works
two
to
P's.
simplify it, right?
P1, P2. Um, Yeah, coach, exactly. Look, so you saw that he was reactionary. You saw there's a difference. He saw that in the middle there, like, and Bobby was saying earlier that the players were quite physical, and then he goes, okay, we're gonna combat that. I'm going back to my formation. I'm gonna chuck in defensive midfielder next to him as well, and that's it. He combat. He stemmed the flow. Halftime came out second half, and continued with that. And yeah, we completely dominated the second half. So I'm very happy when I saw that because I'm not a fan of the 4-2-3-1. I actually do not like that formation. I don't think it works. I'm not a fan of it at all. I prefer definitely when we're in the attack with the 3 at the back and then 2 with the 1 inverting. That's because that pushes one of the midfielders more forward, so you're getting an extra attacker, an extra guy in that area in between the 2, so he can link up play. And we saw that
Mm.
perfectly in the second half against Wolves. It worked perfectly because they did not know how to combat that. And
All right, Dante, he has a poor connection. Bobby, if you want to comment, I'm sure you're listening. We're talking about how quickly Enzo Maresca he tweaks things. If what we're doing isn't working, he doesn't relent, doesn't waste time in changing things around. And again, we've had occasions where we didn't start well and then finish the game well. Coach Mudryk was terrible against the vet. That shot he took, the ball still hasn't come back. The rugby union will be proud of that shot. But the truth remains, I think that clearly shows you're judging him based on a single shot he took in the game. Go ahead, Dante. You
sorry, yeah, I
disconnected.
got cut off.
Yeah, but I'm glad you're back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where was it?
You're not listening.
I am listening. Just hold on 1 second. Because I was at the same time I was paying attention. No, you were talking about how quickly he reacts to situations
Yep.
if things aren't working out.
Yep. So yeah, he changed it. Like we said, he changed it up. We mopped the floor with Wolves in the second half because he changed it and made all the difference. He saw what needed to be done. He saw that we were playing quite a bit narrow as well, and so he brought on the two wingers and went out wide.
You can say,
So
I
that
guess
changed the
was then
game
we switch then we change our approach like 3 times because the Wolves
three times.
manager,
Yes,
he's tactically excellent.
he is.
He
Yeah,
also reacts immediately. He doesn't waste time. But go ahead with what you were saying.
exactly. So we changed it up to 30 minutes. Then we stemmed the flow. It was quite calm till halftime. Then the Wolves manager changed it a bit of halftime to combat that. And that's when Maresca then changed it 15, 20 minutes in. He then changed it again and taking the players, like I said in Kunkun, that I don't want to see them out wide and Palmer in those games. I want to see them central. So anyway, he changed it, put the wingers, opened up the space a lot more, changed it again, and then we completely ran the show. So yeah, he changed it 3 times, like you said. So exactly, he's very reactionary. Love that about him. That's what you need. I don't want to see that 4-2-3-1. Like I said, I'm not the fan of it. But hey, if you
That's
start
actually
with
my
it,
favorite formation. I think I've told you that before, and that's
yeah,
because
look,
it accommodates a traditional wingers and number 10 and 2 6s. The application is what you pay attention to. It's not like the 2 6s they sit deep. One with the independence to be wherever they deem fit,
yeah.
just like we did under Thomas Tuchel. But go ahead with what you were saying.
But the big difference is, coach, because you got still 4 at the back, so you're sacrificing one player from the midfield.
I mean, it depends on the application of the wing of the fullbacks, really.
Yeah, so we saw that the first half, none of them inverted. They were traditional fullbacks. In a
Yeah.
4-2-3-1, it's traditional fullbacks. That's the difference. That's the big difference. So, yeah, it's a massive difference because when you've got an extra player in that midfield and an extra midfielder pushed up as well, it's a huge difference. You're creating a channel and triangles and possession. And you saw how we ran ragged with Wolves, having those triangles, the possession, and Enzo dropping deep. And what did Enzo do when he dropped deep? He ran the show. He controlled the ball. Everything went through him and had a really excellent second half there. Controlled absolutely everything. Everything went through him. He was not scared because he had the man next to him as well. And he had the extra outlet in the midfield forward of him to pass and link up. So that's where I want him to play. That's how I need him to play. And hopefully Maresca sees that. Obviously, it's tactical.
I think probably
Against
he knows that the deeper he's deployed, the more effective he'd be because his
Yeah.
strength lies in his passing range, in his vision. He needs to see more of the beach to be as effective as he can
Correct.
be.
But see, we
So the
didn't
further
see that
forward
against
he
Man City.
plays, the lesser he sees the pitch, the less effective it'd be. But go ahead with what you were saying.
Yeah, and I was not happy because we did not see that against Man City, and I was not happy that I didn't see that in the first 30 minutes against Wolves. But once he changed it, thank God he saw it and he changed it. It made all the difference. So yeah, hopefully we go forward like that. I understand. I keep saying I understand why he's going for that 4-2-3-1 because he suits our players very well and it accommodates the players very well in the positions. But I think he's probably seen enough now to know, and he's getting more training into the players in his system.
He's seen them up close, irrespective. You can say how much
Yes.
he knew about them before he became a manager. Now he's seen
Yeah.
them up close. Yeah, but go ahead.
To me, Judge said that he didn't think they were quite ready to implement his system fully. So he went to something they were a bit comfortable for the first couple of games, especially that first game, just to keep it, more comfortable for the players, a bit easier. The international break's going to do a lot because some players will stay back, some won't go, but they'll still have an extra week when they come back in between to train. And that's going to do quite a lot. I actually think it's good. The break is going to be good because they're going to get some more training time as well.
Yep, thank you so much for that. Sincerely do I appreciate it. Excellent contribution, even though I don't like you. Good evening to you too, Aja Onyedikachi. Nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well. Mudrik, I'm not reading that for you in the Maya. I don't like you anymore. Maresca losing patience with, I don't think so. I think he knows exactly what he's doing. He is trying to fix him, and I think he will. Poch, you're not gonna get me to read that. Just go where I don't like you. Anything else to address here? Let's see what else we have here. Breaking news. He scores the debut goal. Excellent for him. Good for him. But I don't think he'd have again a season as good as the one he had at Inter Milan. That's just my opinion anyway. But let's see what happens. Mudryk will get chances only in Conference League. I think he will. He will pick up. Jakaj, nice to see you. I feel sorry for. I don't know that the fact that he got that job tells me the theory we had at the time that Bali wanted him to stay. But Iqbal said, no, that's it. The fact that he got the US job says that, for me, there's some sort of connection there. Was Osimhen on the bench? No. He's been, you could use the word ostracized, would be correct. They gave his number to Lukaku too. So that's a huge sign. But I think he still joined the Saudi Arabia League. I think they still come back for him. He was a great player to the Wolves coach. I didn't know, again, I know nothing about his playing career, but I think he's a smart manager. Did they really take away? Yeah, they did. They did. No jokes. They're not playing, not disgusting in my opinion. They're not. You can say I don't want to get into the argument whether they're treating him fairly or not. Why did he sign the extension he did? Was it last year? It just doesn't make sense. He had the opportunity to leave them when the controversy, the racism role was still at its peak at the time, and then he went again, released a statement how he loved Naples, the fans, and everything. And we were saying at the time that this guy just made the biggest mistake of his life. We need to serve Osimhen in January. It could happen, but I don't think it'd come to us. I think he ends up in January in Saudi Arabia. And let me say this quickly: I did not believe for 1 second he really wanted to come to Chelsea. I did not. It just doesn't make sense for him to forfeit the sort of money the Saudis had on the table for him. If anything, I think he was just using us to get them to pay him even more, but then it backfired spectacularly. But the opportunity is still there. It's not late. The Saudi window, I'm hearing, is still open till Monday. I will never for a second believe Osimhen wanted to come to us and forfeit the sort of money they had on the table for him. And it's not like we're in the Champions League. So I didn't believe it, and I still don't believe it. And I still think he ends up in Saudi Arabia. That is my opinion anyway. Let's see what happens there. And Logic Don, nice to see you once again. We didn't get him, so let's move on. Yeah, I didn't want us to sign him. I'm one of those that preached we necessarily don't need a number 9, and that's especially the truth after we signed Joao Felix. Coach, if we are 13th place in January, we are buying Osimhen. Trust me. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Okay, I trust you already, but if that doesn't happen, I'm not going to trust you. Dante, let's answer this question. How do you think would do without Osimhen? Are you one of those that strongly believed we needed to sign a number 9?
We can do fine without him, no problem. We did need to sign a more proper physical number 9 that's a different profile. That we did need, I think, 100%.
Okay, just to mix things up, right?
To have that option, yeah, because some games they're not going to be the game's not going to be the same. Different matchups, different teams, different all different types of players you're playing against. So yeah, sometimes something doesn't work. You've got that option to play the other way. So I wanted to play a physical striker just for that reason, because we don't really have that profile. I know Guy is, people think he's that profile, but for me, he's not really that profile. He's only 18. He hasn't got that physical strength yet, or he hasn't got that rough game in him that he can do that. He just doesn't. He's 18. He's not. We haven't seen it. He's good more at holding the ball up, but we haven't seen him in the air. You don't see him in the air, competing for challenges. He gets when he's in the air, and I saw a couple of times he gets pushed off very easy because he hasn't got that mature strength. He just hasn't got it. It's still 18. Doesn't matter if he looks strong. He hasn't got it. Yeah, he can run and close down quick. He's got that speed, but he hasn't got that physical presence, unfortunately, which I'm talking about a traditional 9 has. Osimhen had that. He had the mentality as well. He's not the biggest guy, Osimhen, because he's quite lean, but he's very strong. It's just the way he plays. He's very strong, and he's a mentality monster. He plays that way, even though he doesn't really have the body to play that way, but he still plays that way. He's still very strong. So I think we needed something like that, like a Duran. We're talking about Duran. You're saying you think he's a good player and he would do well
I
in
like
the
him.
future.
Honestly, I would have loved us again had we signed him. I'd love it.
Yeah, so
he
he scored
shoots.
again. I saw that he scored
Yeah.
again. So yeah.
And
So
do
look,
you agree, really, that Jean Duran, he shoots instinctively, doesn't hesitate like
Yeah.
Jackson does in most cases. Once the ball comes to him and there's an
100%.
opportunity to score, he shoots. It doesn't have to be pretty. It doesn't have to go buy flowers and give it
Yeah,
to the ball, or maybe take the ball out and then come back and then calculate. No, he shoots instinctively, and that
yeah,
makes him different. That
that's
makes him
true.
different from all the profile from the profile of the players we have already. But go ahead.
Correct, and he's big. Even though he's quite strong. He's tall. He's strong. He's very wide. So yeah, he's quite strong as well. So,
But
but yeah, no,
unfortunately, he's not playing. He's not playing for Manchester United, Barcelona, and yeah, Chelsea fans would think, yeah, he's just a kid and not going to trust him, even though he's
yeah.
proven that he will be a good addition to our squad. But go ahead with what you were saying, bro.
Yeah, he would have been a good addition. I was happy with him. I didn't mind him. I didn't mind Omeridian either. He's got that profile as well. It's strong, fast, good in the air. Uh, Loves to shoot as well. Left foot, right foot. Yeah, but like you say, yeah, Duran, very strong shot straight away. Who shoots? It's an instinct. He's got a striker's
Yep.
instinct. And you saw that Guy's not that. Guy's a link-up player in Nine's body, but he's a link-up player. He's not that.
It would take a
So
lot to get him to start shooting instinctively too. He likes it
yeah,
to first of all get a first touch and shoot, even when it's not necessary. Necessary, just like Jackson does. But go ahead.
yeah. So that's yeah. Guy's more a link-up player. He's not which we already have. Obviously, we've got Nkunku, we've got Jackson, we've got those strikers that can do that. So for me, he's not a nine, like people saying that he's more of a proper nine. No, he's not. For me, he's not even close to a proper nine. So yeah, look, I think we needed that profile to have it because he can come in handy against some of the low block teams that you whip a ball in, you put a cross in something. It enables you to put the ball in really early, and he can get on the end of it. It can, positional, no play, or he gets it quickly and shoots straight away. No think, he doesn't think and just shoots. Yeah, we need that type of player. We don't have that type of player. So yes, I did think we needed that. On the other hand, we can work around that as well because we've got so much quality. And if the position's right, the positional play's right, the interlink, the play is right, we can score a lot of goals too. Hence, Wolves, we scored 6 goals. So
Yeah, and we could have scored even more. The Bluetooth game is asking the question: are we getting top four? I've said yes, but to be certain about that, I want to see how the manager solves the issue. The lack of solve the issue of the lack of proper protection from our midfield, because that's a huge issue, respective of how you see it. I think we have the players to sort it out. I'll wait and see. Maybe 4 or 5 games into the season, I would let you know for certain where I believe we'd finish. But right now, I can tell you, yeah, we can finish in top 4. But to be certain about that, I need to see how the manager solves the issue we're having. I am optimistic for Chelsea this season, and let's see how we go against a Palace. I predict 2-1 to Chelsea, 1 game at a time. Yep. One thing we'll learn quickly is how important Lavia will be for us this season. I would say now Sancho walks into this team. Shanks, nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for finding the time to join us. And the Bluetooth game is saying our next 5 fixtures are all winnable. So if we get a maximum point, we could be quite formidable. The 6th game is Liverpool, and by the time we play them, I think the manager must have seen, you could say, experience maybe, or what's the language I'm looking for? Where we're lacking, maybe. I think that works too, and then find solution to those issues before we get to play Liverpool. I'm not too concerned. Yep. Anything else you want to say, Dante, or should we move on to the match preview exercise?
we'll move on.
Lineup prediction exercise proper. But go ahead.
Yeah, we can move on. We've covered all that. That's all good.
All right, thank you so much for that. After the easy games, we play Liverpool, Newcastle United, and Arsenal all in a row. I'm going to say this again. I'm happy we have those so-called easy games to play before we get to nitty-gritty, if you like. I think by that time, the manager he'd have time enough to sort out the issues he's seen during games, if that makes sense. So let's get back to it. The lineup prediction exercise. We still don't know too much about the manager, but I think we'll do well. Do I have the color? Okay, we have it. So Dante, let's go with you. We'll start. Let's just work on it together. I think Sanchez starts.
Yeah.
Jorgensen
Fortunately,
for me.
yes.
yeah, Jorgensen for me still comes across as if a bit nervous, maybe. But I think he'll get there. And I'll say this. I know I've said it before. He will eventually become our number one, given his qualities, in my opinion. But it looks like his arrival has pushed Sanchez to start doing even better. Sanchez looked so confident on the ball these days, and I'm questioning, is that the same Sanchez or maybe a different Sanchez?
No,
In my
he wasn't
opinion,
that
actually.
comfortable, coach.
And distribution wise, he's done well too.
He's done okay, but not well. He's still coughed up a couple of chances that could have been punished, but we weren't.
You could say the same about Jorgensen. In Europe, he nearly he kept the ball away that the opposition. You could say they had the opportunity to score from that, but they didn't. But Sanchez, for me, he's improved. Maybe that's a more correct language to use. Um, he's done well, in my opinion. Easy
He's yeah,
games.
he's number
There are
one
no easy
till he
games. Yeah.
starts making mistakes again. Very simple.
Exactly. So let's just leave it at that. Sanchez there. I'm guessing you agree.
Yep, 100. Yep,
Left back. This one is actually very easy. It's Cucurella. Yeah. And
yep.
I'm not. I don't see Vega starting over Cucurella.
Nope.
And did Cucurella, did he play a part in in Europe for us?
I don't think so.
Second half. I don't know. I don't remember. But he didn't start.
No. Vega started. No.
Okay, so right back, Gusto, no question. We shouldn't even be having that conversation because Rich James isn't fit. So Gusto, okay, the two center backs. Do you think he goes? Let's hear you.
So I was saying I'm not a fan of Colwell. He hasn't done well. He hasn't really did well. The last game, it was probably one of the first games I saw him actually do well and be involved, be a bit more aggressive, not make mistakes. His positional play was much better. Got the tackles in. So it was one of the first
Excellent
games he's
passing
actually
range.
impressed. It's one of the first game he's actually impressed me finally. So that's a good sign to see. Hopefully that continues. And yeah, he'll probably. It's still in his contract. He has to start, coach. So he has to start.
That may well be the case. I don't know, but I don't know. Let's see. Machos TV saying in training, Sanchez looked more confident than he looked on match day. You think? Okay. Keeper is our weak area. I disagree. In my opinion, Petrovic is better than Jorgensen. Okay, in your opinion, thank you for saying that. Colwell and Fafana, most definitely. We don't know too much about the manager yet, but the centre back, the pattern again is clear there.
And
Not to
let's
see he got
yeah.
exposed for that goal. Yeah, should have pulled the man down and take one for the team, and I'm not sure why he didn't. Coach Syria are still open, so we could still sell Casadei in Portuguese league. Washington could leave to Portugal. Dacho Fofana and Bencho, what I'm hearing, could go to Turkey. Go ahead, Dante. You were saying something.
Yeah, coach. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, with the keeper, I agree with the keeper as well. And Disasi, yeah, that mistake. But there was another very serious mistake that he was completely caught out as well, which is even more glaring than that mistake. So yeah, no, he's way down the depth order at the moment.
Yeah, and we did see it coming. Again, a lot of people were thinking I don't know. He may well still prove to be, you could say, we may well end up saying, yeah, we're glad we kept him because he
Yeah,
brings
same.
aggression. He
You know,
brings
a lot of players
aggression.
take a while to start the season. A lot of players
Yeah,
take a while to
that may
start the
well be
season.
the case. Yeah, yeah, he's still here. So we could still see him. Um, but yeah, I was concerned when we hired Enzo Maresca that due to something we've talked about already, without pressure, he comes across as he's excellent on the ball, but under pressure he makes silly mistakes that you would start asking yourself if he was the same guy you watched in the last game. So we say Colwell here. We can all agree Colwell stats.
And
I
Mercer's made
think
him a vice captain. Let's not forget Colwell. So that's a pretty clear sign.
And can we agree really? I know there's a good player in there, and he will get to the level he showed at Brighton, but it would take him playing a lot of games. It will not happen overnight.
Coach, even at Brighton, I wasn't that impressed, to be honest. So, like I said, it's taken him a long while to see a proper full game to be like, yeah, had a great game. He stood out. He had a really good game. So, yeah, that happened finally, which is great. So hopefully that continues now. That's all I can ask.
Yeah, I do agree. And Shanks is saying, can they sell Badiashile and Mudryk? I don't think we're looking to sell those two players, at least not right now. Yeah, because Badiashile, at least even on his worst day, you could still see he has good vision. But
I think they're
defensively,
here
I think
to the
I
end of the
don't know what
season.
has
They're here,
happened to
but
him. The
yeah,
the
at the end
lack
of the
of
season,
confidence.
I think he's gone. If he doesn't improve, he's gone because we don't forget we've got the Argentinian kid coming in.
Oh yeah, in Anselmino.
Correct.
Yeah, Anselmino, is he left center back or right center back?
He plays both.
He plays both. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Let's see here. Maresca said Washington's future is at Chelsea, loans only. Wow, what did he see in him? Uh, I'm not gonna say. I'm not gonna say I really do not want to argue anything about that. Let's see what else we have here. Okay, I want us to talk about this. I think Tosin has a place in this team, and I'm gonna explain. You don't have the cool-headedness you need here. Maybe as he matures, Colwell will become that guy, because usually in a defensive line, it's important. Maybe Thomas Tuchel's era spoiled me. It's important to have cool-headedness in the back line to lead and lead effectively. I think Tosin can do that. I wouldn't mind starting Tosin and Fofana coming here, and Tosin being on the right hand side. Fofana, I know, can fulfill the left center back role. But as you said, Colwell does have a clause on his contract that, that he's going to be starting games as long as he's fit. But that's just my opinion. Anyway, Dante, I think we need Tosin here. We do
Coach,
need
there's just a
Tosin.
problem because when we go to a back three, when we're in possession,
Mhm.
Tosin is not good on the out wide. Yeah, so he's not an out wide defender.
So
That
he
is the
has to be
problem.
central to be effective. Is
Correct.
that what you're saying?
Correct. Yes. And Maresca's
Because I
seen that,
think we
obviously.
need him. Yeah. His
Maresca's seen
cool-headedness
that
is
because
something
in
we need.
in a
Yeah.
heartbeat, I would have Tosin starting over Colwell. And
Yeah.
like you said, cool head, Tosin, control, good in the air, tall,
Yeah.
physical.
It
Fofana
makes
as
a
the
difference.
aggressive one,
Reads
the one that
reads the
progresses
game
the
very
ball.
well too, because
Yeah,
that let's agree. Tosin reads the game way better than these two.
100%. Yes.
Whenever they start together, this pairing, you'd see something every now and then that shows you the lack of experience between them. But go ahead with what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly. Look, I've been impressed with Fofana, especially the last couple of games, and I like him because he's the aggressor. He's the aggressor. He goes in hard. He doesn't stick around. He challenges. He puts in. He goes hard. Like you said, you need a guy that's calm, cool, collected, that can read the game, sit back and observe, tossing, and you need a Fofana that very good at passing and can go be the aggressor.
Yeah, a mixture of cool-headedness and aggression. I think that will make a perfect pairing. I think this pairing in the future will change. It will start by, you can say, them two not starting in other games, and the manager seeing how well the pairing he uses during other competitions such as cup games, and he'll figure out, yeah, he does need Tosin, for me, should be playing for us in the Premier League, in my opinion. I don't know why Fofana. He's again he's you can say he's improving since after the long layoff due to the injury he sustained. I would want to see Tosin, but that's just my opinion anyway. Let's see what happens here. Coach, they can loan both Mudryk and Badiashile, giving clubs an option to buy. We're not looking to sell those two players right now, but let's hear what Dante has to say about that. About it. Your suggestion there. Why did they put the clause on? I, so you really believe that? The C is fixable. Rather see him start than Badiashile. Badiashile also, his issue is fixable too. It's just a confidence thing, in my opinion. Joao is still on the books. Do you think he will get much game time? I've heard that he's open to going abroad on loan, and we're hearing that we're trying to get Besiktas to take him from us. Yeah. Coach, what would your back three look like then? Let's say, do we have a back three formation here? I'll bring this back. If we go with 3-4-2-1, I wouldn't play Fofana central. That's when you need Tosin.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, in a back three, you need Tosin here, not Fofana. He's so rash. He makes rash decisions every now and then that shows you his inexperienced. Had he played
His experience,
consistently
coach.
last season, had he played consistently since he joined us, he'd be better right now.
Coach, but that was always his game. He's an aggressor. He comes out, steps out, and goes after the ball aggressively to tackle.
Yeah, but
That's
you
who
can
he
argue, had
is.
he played, I get your point. Had he played consistently for us since he joined us, he'd be better off now. You won't see those rash decisions.
He'll
You
still
can
do the
say
same,
more
coach, because
often.
that's his
Yeah, but
game.
go ahead.
He'll do
What
the
you were
same.
saying.
But that's why you need someone next to him, another defender. That's why need that balance. You need that other player that's to sit behind and watch and clean up and be tall, physical, usually in the air. And that's Tosin. So that's why you need. But Fofana's always been that player. He was bought for that reason because he's an aggressive defender that's extremely good on the ball. He's got very good technique
He
and
likes
can
to
play
drive with the ball. Yeah.
a driver of the ball, but that's his role. But the problem playing him centrally, he exposes the back line because then he steps out when doing that. But that's why you need
Yeah.
the guy next to him to sit in behind.
So let's say in a back three, Dante, Tosin can be central. He can be on the right hand side, and on the left hand side, even Badiashile would do well in a back three because it's not central where if he makes a mistake, we're in
Yeah.
trouble.
Yeah, look, it depends. That's all on the formation and who you need. If you're playing a pair, you need, like you said, you need a pair to play together that's balanced. If it's three at the back, you can either go three solid defenders or you go one that's a right back, left back that
Mhm.
is a hybrid. So, but you can't play, you can't play toss and left center back, right center. I mean, in a back three, you can't play him out wide, and you can't play Fofana as the central one either because he comes out too
No,
much.
no, it will be absolute chaos. Didn't Thomas Soko try that? He tried it in the Champions League away.
I think he did, but
Yeah, he did, and he was awful on the day.
it was bad. But it's not his fault. This is coaching. It's not his fault. This is who the player he is.
Wow. Why is Fofana so hasty? Yeah, that's
Again, I'll say it. That's his demeanor. That's his strength. Actually,
yeah. But he's an excellent defender on the day. He can be aggressive. He can put in those last ditch tackles and clear the ball off of the again opposition player. Yeah, he has that in him, but he's not there yet. But he's getting to that for fun. He needs to play a lot more. Maybe that's
a
what the
lot more.
manager
Yeah.
is
But
trying
you
to
saw
do
that
because
last
he
game.
knows
He
him.
did
Go
that.
ahead.
You saw the other game that he did. He did that against Inter Milan, the last preseason game. Perfect. And then the game as well. Very good. So he's done it now, a couple of games in a row, which is a good sign that it's that early.
Yeah. This reads Joao may still go to Saudi Arabia. Yeah, there's a chance that if they want him. We don't agree, coach. Let the chat vote for
Yeah,
the perfect pairing,
100%.
but we're trying to predict the manager's lineup. Believe me. Well, we would do an exercise. Now the transfer market is shut. So we'll do an exercise where we select Chelsea's strongest 11. That's when the chat gets to vote. But this one, you should know that this is the back four we're gonna see tomorrow. But from here you could argue this area, that's where we're not too sure what the manager is gonna do. Although even though we know certain players will start, I'm quite sure that's the case. Let's talk about the 266. Enzo certainly here. We don't have too many options. Lavia isn't fit. Even again, we're not gonna, or you can say, rush him back like we did with some of the players. Again, on the yeah, you know who. So let's say Caicedo
P's.
here.
One of the P1, P2.
Yeah, let me get what again. I'll come to you in a bit so you can speak about the 266. Let's see what you have here. Fafana and Co. Well, yeah, we know that. And Prince Louis is saying here, it's saying Palace defend in a 5-3-2 structure. Wow, similar to Inter. So this means the box midfielder is not needed. We can set up in the diamond midfield 3-3-4, pushing the 2-8s higher when appropriate. That's an excellent at the same time analysis and contribution. But Heston, we're just gonna go with this. We're still learning a lot more about the manager. We'll probably see something like this structure. Then when you pay attention to the application, you see that it's actually different. But let's hear you about the 2-6s, and let's say this Nemaya, you're a moderator and you shouldn't be using that language. And Prince Louis, nice to see you here. We appreciate you. But let's say you down to the 2-6s. Let's not mind.
Maya.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's not bad, coach. He's all right. You can use that. That's not that bad.
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah.
Yeah. You need to use the horse done like coach does.
All right. And I don't curse, right? I don't ever curse.
No,
Okay,
ever, never,
go.
ever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, look, again, I don't want 2-6s. I told you I don't like 4-2-3-1. It didn't work again. So I want him to play his formation that he trusts most, and that's his favorite position formation, which is the 4-3-3, correct? Yes, with 1-6 and 2-8s. So yeah, I would personally, if we're doing, like again, I don't know what he's done. He's been confusing the Maresca because he's played Nkunku as an 8, attacking 8. He's played now Palmer there last game as attacking 8. He played Enzo.
I think it will
against
take
Man
a
City.
while before we see the pattern that will help us to correctly predict structure and selection. Go ahead.
Must be something in training. I have no idea. I just wish he stuck to his guns that he's confident in and just go with it. And again, I understand why he did it, but I want him to go to the formation that he likes and normally uses, especially against a low block team like Palace is at the moment. So, because then you've got an extra guy going forward as well. I don't like seeing 2 defensive midfielders against teams like this. It's a complete waste. So,
but let's talk about this. That's why I said I allowed you to start talking about it. Just give me 1 second here. I certainly don't want to see Enzo in that position. Here's the thing. What you pay attention to is the application. You could call this the starting structure. But once the game starts, this guy is usually here. And this guy can be anywhere he wants. This guy is usually afforded, or maybe, I don't know the correct language, he's usually given the freedom or the independence to be wherever he deems fit on the pitch. That's why sometimes you see him here making life easier for Casado. So do not mind the structure. What you pay attention to is the application. If you're with me,
right,
but go ahead.
But the problem is the application and the structure was this way for the first 30 minutes against Wolves. No fullback inverted.
Was like this, them staying side by side?
Correct. It was a proper 2-man defensive midfield with them 2 playing there, the right back and the left back playing in their normal positions. It was exactly that for the first 30 minutes. So,
and by the way, I need to add more formation. I need to code in more formation to this, because we see Maresca use I don't know, again, a few structures that aren't here. We have 4-3-3, we have 4-4-2, we have 3-4-2-1, we have 4-2-3-1. I think we're missing a few.
Well, it's different. It's different in attack and different in defense. That's the only thing.
It's also 4-1-4-1.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, it can
be.
I
have to code in more formations there. Go ahead.
It can be, yeah. But yeah, so first 30 minutes against Wolves, it was exactly this. It was a 4-2-3-1, exactly. And we got overrun because
do you think on papers?
It was on paper and in application. I watched the.
No, I'm saying, do you think it was on papers? It was deliberate, just to not to risk conceding, or maybe I don't know, because this is defensive.
I'm going to go. Yeah. He did it against Man City, the same thing, and I'm going to go again. The players are comfortable in this formation, and they did very well towards the end of the season in it. So he kind of, I think he just went for something to try, and then he knows he can change it if it doesn't work. But hopefully he's over it now, and hopefully he doesn't go back to this at all. But we'll see what happens. We don't know.
That's what I think. Here's where you have issue is if the application is really as was if it's really as we're seeing it on the screen. If it's not a case of this guy coming central and this guy with the independence to be wherever he deems fit, just to make sure whoever has the ball has an easy outlet to let it
Yeah.
you can say release the ball as quickly as possible, right? Your issue is that the application was much like that, like the structure. Is that what you were saying?
Yeah, it was 4-2-3-1. Yes, exactly. Yes. And
Wow.
what happens with the 4-2-3-1? We saw against our P1 that those two defensive midfielders are back there, sitting back there, but then there's a massive gap between them and the forwards. And then that's that area. The opposition has two extra players in there, and they overrun that area very easily. And we get overrun quickly, especially when we lose possession. It's very easy to overrun that, especially when Enzo and Casado are not really quick players. They're not that quick. So it's very easy
And they're
to
not
combat
that
this
good at
formation.
reading the game.
Yeah, they're not.
Yeah,
They're not.
they're not.
But like I said, to be fair to them, they're not. They don't really play that position for the national team or the previous teams. They never play this position. They don't
Yeah.
play the DMs. They don't play DMs. Casado has always been a CM, box to box, going forward, going back. He's got that
Usually
free
in
role.
a 4-3-3 structure on the right hand side, and then so in a 4-3-3 structure also on the left hand side with someone else playing central. But sometimes the Argentina manager does use them centrally.
Yeah, but he's still got a man behind him, though, coach. So there's a big difference. He's got a man behind him.
True.
So yeah, that's a big difference. So this way, he's got no man behind him. That left side or right side, doesn't matter which both. There's always a big gaps around him, and there's a big space. Why? Because the wingers are wide, and then the number 10 in this, because the 10, he's always a bit more forward as well. So or Jackson drops back, and they're in the same position with Palmer, and then you can't really pass there because there's no, and then you're stuck, and there's no other actual middleman to give it to. So it's a problem for me. It was a good problem. It was a big problem under Pochettino. At the end of the season, it was fixed because he inverted a midfield left back, Cucurella, and then pushed Enzo a little bit further as an 8-8 box. Then he was able to do his role that he does for Argentina. And sorry, not Enzo, because he wasn't playing. It was Caicedo and Gallagher. And then Caicedo actually pushed a little bit forward, and he played that box CM box to box where Gallagher sat back as well. And then they interchanged. And then also Gallagher then went to CM box to box, and Caicedo sat back. So they have that strength to do that, but Enzo doesn't. So it was fixed by inverting another midfielder and pushing another midfielder forward, and we scored way more goals, and we had more possession and more control of the midfield that way. So it worked. So that's why I like Enzo Maresca's inverting another midfielder next to him, a defensive mid that can play, that's very good defensively as well, hence Cucurella. So I would still play Cucurella and Enzo as the two in the middle, and then leave Caicedo as the box CM, so he can actually run and do what he's good at, running, not stay stationary, passing left, passing right. It's not his game, passing left. It's too slow for him, and then he gets caught in that
Yeah, and
tempo.
he's not that good at beating the press.
And he's not good at that. Yeah, he needs to have freedom.
He's not good at beating the press. Actually, it's Lavia.
No, he's not that technical. Caicedo is not that technical. Yeah, he can't. He doesn't hold the ball. He's got slow movements as well. He's quite slow. He's not fast, Caicedo, but he's got fitness. He can run up and down all day, no problem. So, but then you got to use him to that position. Then you can play him in that that CM 8 box to box where he can run back, he can go forward, he can run around the midfield. He's got a bit more of a free role. But in that DM position, he's just boxed into that DM where he's just left, right, a little bit back, left, right, a little bit, and he's just jogging all the time. He's never really, he's not. I think that limits him, and that's why you see him struggling, because he's the type of guy that just needs to keep running, keep moving. And you've got players like that sometimes. I had him on my team. Kante was a player like that. He was good when he's completely moving always. You don't want Kante just to sit as a DM and do nothing. Even in the France team, he didn't sit.
He's going to be useless.
He's useless if you sit and do that. And that's why I find Caicedo a
but
bit
Heston,
useless.
The stereotype at the time made a lot of people believe he's a DM.
He's not a DM. No,
he's just an 8 who's properly, who so you could say naturally inclined to contribute defensively. Even if you play him as number
Yeah,
9, he'd still be contributing defensively. It's
correct.
just his
Yeah.
thing.
It's his thing
Yeah,
because he likes to keep moving, but you
yeah,
limit his
exactly. Yeah.
movement playing DM. Completely limit his movement playing DM.
Yeah, excellent
Yeah.
analysis there. I'll come back to you. So we have, again, if I see him there, I'm going to level him, the Argentine Conor Gallagher. Wow. Enzo can do whatever the hell he wants as we know it. I think he's an excellent player. I've seen people argue that he's not quick enough for the Premier League. And whenever I hear people argue that, I just laugh because it's about, you can say, how you utilize him. He's an intelligent player. We've seen players who who's played played in the Premier League and were successful, but went as quick as Enzo. It was again what defined their playing ability. Those players in question, their intelligence, footballing intelligence, passing range, and like Cesc Fabregas and Babatov, those guys went the quickest. But they have an excellent footballing intelligence, and they carried them through. So it just doesn't make sense when people argue that Enzo Fernandez is too slow for the Premier League. Yada yada yada. But look at the game against Wolves, a physical game, crazy, high octane football. He still emerged as one of our best players on the day. I really don't think we need Enzo and Casado on the pitch. Wow. Okay. We could field another attacker and go completely offensive. We are already a possession-based team, so let's capitalize on that. Not a bad, but let me hear what Dante has to say about that. We
No, you
need
need
them both
Caicedo on the
because the
pitch.
truth remains, just quickly, if you think Enzo isn't important, in his absence, I think we struggle to control the game.
Yeah, and
But
you saw that
but go ahead,
again.
Dante.
Example: Wolves first half 4-3-1, no control, nothing. When he changed it, he went back as the DM. He controlled the game, did everything. The ball went through him, put balls through, put 1-2 touches, perfect. Caicedo can't do that as a DM. He's not that type of player. So yeah, you can still play. You play Enzo as the DM, and you invert one of the defensive fullbacks to help him defensively and to cover for him, just next to him or behind him, and it gives him another guy to pass to as well. Caicedo to play CM can go forward, can come back. He's got a free roll. Just keep running Caicedo, put tackles in when we don't have the ball, put pressure on when we don't have the ball. He can play that role very well. And he's actually scores quite a lot for his country because he pushes forward quite a lot. He's actually got a good shot on him. He's got a better shot than Enzo actually on him.
He has good passing range too in him. He can split the fences open. If you make a good run, Casado will see you.
Yes. Yeah, he's got more short, quick passes better, as in short to medium, where Enzo has more long pass, medium to long. But Caicedo can put the little balls through, and that's why he's better a bit forward and not in DM. It's completely my opinion, but this is how I see it. What I think would be successful. We've seen it successful because it has worked, but yeah, with the coach change, obviously it's not that easy with different systems. But I think Enzo can easily play that DM, and Caicedo can definitely play that box to box 8 with him because he's a bit more forward of Enzo. Then Enzo doesn't have to worry about anything.
Yeah. Tobias, nice to see you. They're great together as DMs. Okay. We don't need both of them on the pitch. I think I agree. We can go with one, but it depends on the opposition and what the manager wants to do. If we play just one of them, then you can accommodate one more attack mandate player. But for me, of the two players, these two
There's
here,
no balance though, coach.
yeah,
There's no
Enzo
defensive
is the most
balance.
important in my opinion, but I get where he's coming from. Enzo is the more important of the two players here. They're both important, but if we have to sacrifice one, just because we want to add a more attacking player, I can say that in my opinion. But go ahead with what you're saying.
Well, you don't need to sacrifice because you invert the fullback, and that gives you the extra DM to help Enzo because he's not really a DM. He's a ball control, but you got a DM to do the defensive dirty work. And Caicedo goes a bit forward. That's why I say Caicedo can do the forward work because he is very good at quick passes, and he can actually score and also press and put pressure as well. But if you put just another attacker forward, you've got nothing in that midfield. They're all attackers. It's a bit too much attack, and then look, you'll get exposed that way. Caicedo is that perfect balance between attack and defense, and you need a player like that in the middle there. Of course, if you're down and you need a goal, then you take him off and then you put an attacker 100%. Then you've got a fifth attacker.
Houston, okay, let's see what else we have here. We're not a position-based team. I think we are trying to, but we're not there yet. But I
Not
think
there
we're
yet,
making
exactly.
progress.
Yeah.
Yeah. Coach, show it with Lavia Houston. I'm going to say this. We can actually play the three of them. I think the most you could say accommodating a structure for the three midfielders to be most you can say starting midfielders would be a 4-3-3 structure where Lavia would start centrally here. That's just my opinion anyway.
I don't think
Where
they can
Lavia
play
starts
together,
there.
all three of them.
Sorry?
I don't think they can play together, no.
I think they can, in my opinion. Because Casado can play as right. Did play as right 8 at Brighton, didn't he?
Yeah, and left and 8. He plays there for
Yeah,
his country.
exactly.
So yes.
So I think we can play the three of them. I've seen people argue that we can in a 4-3-3 structure, but that's just my opinion anyway. But go ahead. If you think we can play the three of them together, let's hear your reasoning for that.
Well, you're not inverting fullbacks anymore, first of all, and you can't overlap a fullback either, especially on that left-hand side of Enzo there. Although Enzo is an excellent player, he's a world-class player for what he does and his style. We know he's not that quick and he's not a defensive player, as in the defensive duties. The opposition will completely attack that side and completely destroy that side and play him out of the game completely. So you got to look at it that way. It wouldn't work. He can't have that much open field around him and no support from up front. Or if he has it in Cucurella and just sticks around him behind, then the opposition put another right player on the right and to take care of Cucurella, and Enzo is completely on an island, or vice versa. And then they attack on the left, on their right more. And then you got an overlap on that side. So it doesn't work with Enzo. You can't play them three together because of Enzo's style of play. You can't play them three together. In my opinion, that's just my
I
opinion.
think we can, but it's just the manager will have to demand where you have to be and where doesn't want to see you. But I get your point, really. You make an excellent point, but whereas I don't think it makes sense to have three of them on the pitch at the same time, I still argue we can actually. What am I saying is whatever advanced position Enzo takes up, surely a dedicated attacker will be more suitable and dangerous.
100%.
Excellent point. And I agree with you on that. And I think you've heard me say Enzo should have been playing in the 10 role or anywhere closer to the final third.
Exactly.
Because the lesser he sees the pitch, the less effective it be. He needs to be in a
pushing
deeper
that
position.
point. We don't want to see Enzo in the 10 or an attacking 8 because it limits
so
his
we
game.
agree, yeah.
So we all want to see that. But then again, you don't take him off. You put him back where he's most comfortable, more where he can do his damage in the middle, where he's got space and he's got vision. But you've got the defender next to him, like an inverted back that can actually do the defensive duty for him.
Yeah. And let's talk about this. We all can agree that Neto starts. He didn't start the last game because the manager felt like the game came a bit too soon for him.
Yeah, he had the break, so he couldn't play that quickly again. Yeah.
So here also, Modric starts. I don't know. Do you think someone else starts?
I think Palmer will be starting there.
Who plays here if Palmer starts here?
Felix.
You think Felix starts our next game?
I do, yes. I'm very confident that he'll start.
I don't think he starts. I think he starts off the bench. Remember, let's take a look at this pattern. Pedro Neto joined us, and the next game he didn't start because the manager said he's still learning the application of his approach. Even the game after, he still didn't start, did he? I'd say no. So for me, I think Palmer starts in the 10th position. I think here, I don't think Felix starts this game. I think Felix comes off the bench. But you think Felix starts? We'll have to hear from Bobby too. I think Modric starts here, in my opinion. I don't think Felix starts. I think he will be on the bench.
Modric played a long game already, and he didn't do very well at all against Servette, and he played a lot of the game, and that's why I don't think he'll be playing, and he didn't play too well. And
how long did he stay on the pitch?
Quite a long time. He started the game. He was on 75, 80 minutes, I think. I don't know, 70.
Just give me 1 second. Let's check here. Fixtures.
and he didn't do well at all. He didn't have a good game.
I mean, nobody did well. The pitch didn't help. We all agreed. Again, no, we're not making excuses, but the pitch was definitely an issue.
It was an issue, but still, when he had his chance to score, he fluffed his lines when he had the chance. He just
What
had
am I
an
saying here? Why is this
yeah.
mixed up like this? Yeah, but why is it mixed up? Do you see where that one is? Okay, from down to top, bottom. Yeah, it makes sense. Top to bottom, so to speak. I've
Yep.
clicked it. What's the hold up? Okay, that's the game here. Where's Nani Madueke? Let's see the lineup. 62nd minute. For me, I think he probably starts this game. He was taken off in the 62nd minute.
Maresca hasn't shown to a guy that starts in the conference and that it doesn't usually then pretty much start the next game. That's what I've seen from him though. So that's why I also think, and Nani again didn't have a good game. I saw him yelling again a little bit at him because he was his positioning wasn't the best. I think he's not starting, and I do think Palmer, because it's a low block coach, that's the only reason I said it's a low block team. They're going to be very deep. Palmer will be very effective in that right wing because he can drift inside to link
So
up
you
with
think Felix
Felix.
starts on the right hand side? Do we even have Felix there?
No,
We
not
don't
Felix.
yet.
No, I put Palmer on the right, and Felix
You
is the
think Palmer
central.
starts on the right?
Yeah, and Felix as the central.
You don't think Madueke starts this game? I think he
No,
started Madueke because he was in a goal scoring form, thinking that he'd help us to get a goal or finish. You could say just score about you say 2 goals, and then he can take him off. But see, the fact that he took him off in the 62nd minute, I think he starts this game. But let's just go what you said. You
yeah,
think Felix starts here?
I think Felix
And
starts
I
there.
had to go
Yes,
download Felix picture, but go ahead.
yeah, and Jackson up front.
And Jackson up front. Okay, let's see what we have here. I think Felix starts, by the way. Did they announce Sancho? Sancho has been announced. I don't think Felix starts, but we'll see tomorrow. Poch, leave me alone, the Maya. Sancho's announcement video was epic. I haven't seen it actually. So you think Jackson definitely starts?
Oh,
He came
definitely.
off the bench against
Yeah,
Sevens, right?
yeah, exactly. Yeah, he saved him for this. Yeah, he was never going to play. He was going to always play Guy.
Hmm. Bobby, let's hear your thoughts on Dante's lineup. I didn't contribute. That's why, for me, I disagree. I think whatever happens, I think Palmer starts centrally because he was excellent as a 10 on the other day. I think the manager will still deploy him in that position, irrespective of whoever he can. If Felix is going to start, I don't think he starts in the 10 position, but that's just my opinion anyway. But Bobby,
Yeah.
let's hear your thoughts on the lineup. Dante's lineup, not
Yeah.
mine.
I agree because yet again I revert to the midfield. Palmer being in that position, at least Palmer would offer some sort of midfield presence when the time is needed for him to drop back. I'm not sure that's Felix's strength, to be honest. Felix's strength is going forward. So if he's not going to play Madueke, or when I say play him, start Madueke, it's likely then that Felix will start on the right. Um,
So you think Felix starts? You agree that Felix
I don't know.
starts? The question now is where you think he starts.
I don't know. I was listening to Dante's reasoning behind him saying that Madueke won't start on this game, and I have to say I can't particularly fault it. I think I can see that. I can see it happening, especially as Felix didn't even travel with them, and he hasn't really had. Okay, he's had this week to train, but tactically, he's not really had time for that. So I don't know. It'll be
That's it.
interesting.
Tactically, he hasn't spent enough time with the manager.
He
Remember, the manager
hasn't.
saying something about Pedro Neto.
He hasn't.
Yeah, but Neto's a
Neto.
wide player, coach. If Felix doesn't need playing in that 10 in behind role, you don't need
That's it.
that
Just
much.
agree with me. Just agree.
Yeah, I don't think the one thing I know for sure is that Felix won't play 10 ahead of Cole Palmer. He won't because he doesn't offer anything going backwards. Well, very little. He might offer a bit, but very little. So he won't play ahead of Palmer there. But it's the right side that I'm not sure. But just to fill your chart, I would agree with Dante, so he's not out on his own, and say, okay, he starts ahead of Madueke, but he needs to be instructed well because his backtracking has got to be on point. This is
And the
English
game was
football.
what day? The game against Servette was what day, Bobby? 2 days
Thursday,
ago.
Thursday,
two
yeah,
days ago, right? And
yeah.
and Madueke played just a six. He played 63 minutes. Let's just leave it at 63. I think he
Mm.
starts this game, but that's just my opinion. I get it. You guys can gang against me, no problem. I'll be fine. Just go
Yeah,
ahead.
we're gonna gang up on you this time. I'll
Just go
go
ahead.
Felix and Neto on either flank, Palmer in the middle, Jackson up top. The only alternative, although no, Nkunku played the whole 90, didn't he? So
Correct. Yes.
he's probably gonna
He's
take him
not.
off
He's
the
not playing
bench.
here. Mhm.
He could play, but he's not starting.
He's not. He's not going to start. Yeah.
By the way, Felix has never played on the right in his career. Just to let you know.
Oh, he hasn't.
No.
But
Then
he's. I
then
think he
then
can.
then he might put Modric there if we're going to do this.
Mudrik's not starting.
Mudryk
Mudrik
isn't
started.
starting. He's not starting this game. I don't believe that. I think Madueke keeps his place. Felix, the
Mm.
excuse we will hear is Felix isn't quite ready. Because we heard the
Yeah, I
same
mean,
excuse for Pedro
he,
Neto.
he,
And
he
Bobby,
doesn't
you were
need to.
specific. Go ahead, Bobby.
He doesn't need to give an excuse. It is what it is. Okay, if he
Not an
put
excuse,
Madueke,
without reasoning, maybe. That's the most correct language.
He,
yeah,
he chucked in
if
Felix pretty quick when he did come. When he came,
he chucked him
Probably
in
because he
as
felt
a
like we needed him. But go ahead. Go ahead, Dante.
Felix will come off the bench. I can see that he's going to play some part, but you could be right. He could put um, Madueke there. I just don't see Palmer being shifted from that position. I don't, unless
From the central area, right?
yeah, he's not going to
Yep.
come out unless Nkunku comes on later. Then Palmer will shift to the right because Nkunku is quite good at tracking back and helping in midfield sometimes.
no,
But
he's
And
horrible.
if Nkunku tries back effectively, but I don't think he starts this game. How many
no,
minutes did he play?
Played the
Let's
whole
check
game, I
Bobby.
think.
he
He
played the
played how
full
many minutes?
90.
Oh, he played 90 minutes, so he's not going to start.
That's what we're saying. It's an
Two-day turnaround
interesting
And
one.
talk.
here's
He
what
never
will
start.
happen. If Felix is on the pitch, since he's more comfortable on the left, Neto more comfortable on the right. Am I
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah, it can
Well,
be
So
that as well. Correct. Yeah, it can
yeah,
yeah,
be
it
that as
could be
well.
this. If in
they could
fact
switch.
Felix is
Yeah.
out, but I still think Mudryk starts. But
Yeah.
uh,
Mudrik
go
started
ahead.
the last league started and he started at Servette as well, coach. He's not going to start again. He's not going to bring him
No.
on after another performance
It's
where he dragged him off
it's
at
just three
halftime.
games, Dante.
He's not going to drag him. He's dragged him off at halftime. That's not a good sign to show other players deserving ahead of him. I don't
And
see him
bear,
starting him at all.
and
Who
bear
are you
in
talking
mind,
about?
Mudrik, he
Modric.
dragged Mudrik off at halftime.
No, I don't think
And,
Mudryk plays here. I'm talking about Madueke. I think Madueke starts this game, so to speak.
okay, but bear in mind that before I lost the connection, um, Dante made the point that Palace may play a low block and
Very
possibly
low block. Yeah.
they'll try and
Yeah,
hit
and
us from the
somebody in the
break.
chat explained it very well. They play with five at the back, something like that.
So you need your ballers, and so
That's why
uh,
I said Bobby, because Palmer on the right can drift centrally like he did last season, and then Gusto can push forward as the right back because probably Cucurella will invert most likely, or they'll change. They'll intertwine. One of them will invert, one of them won't.
hmm,
This is
Against
it.
low blocks, Palmer is very effective on the right wing because he comes centrally and it creates space because it's a low block. So he's got that free role to play. Even though he starts right wing, he doesn't really play right wing. He becomes more central always.
You reckon Sancho? No. If Sancho actually,
no, I
if
forgot.
Sancho starts on the bench, I'm gonna
Sancho ain't playing.
no.
Sancho,
Even if I see him on the bench, I'll be shocked. Seriously. I know
no.
Dante thinks he can be on the bench, and I'm still saying he's not going to be on the bench, but that's just my opinion anyway. I don't know
Depends how fit he
about
is
him
and how well he
starting.
did in his training session, his one training session. If he did okay,
But
Who
do you
knows?
agree we don't lack numbers there right now?
No, we don't
No.
lack. No.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
Dante, you know, one point, even if a team is playing low block, one of the ways to deal with that would be to stretch them. So you still need your width. And that's where Madueke comes in because he's good at the ball to his feet and he will hug the touchline if he needs to. So it's a
So
very
Bob,
difficult
yeah.
decision to make.
So what I've noticed, Bobby, from when I checked Maresca out, so when he played against really low block teams in the at Leicester, his formation was a little bit different. He would push an extra player forward, so he would basically play with almost two at the back, and the inverted midfield, one of the backs would invert, and he would be the lone DM, and then all the midfielders would push up into an advanced role.
Yeah. Dante, you have to
Mm.
remind me, honestly, I need to code in more structures like 4141 and other structures that we know he uses. If you remind me, bro. You reckon no, we've talked about that. Rain, nice and my bro. Wow. Where did you come out from, bro? Fahim. Wow. Wow, I'm well, bro. I can't complain. I know school has been keeping you busy, and yeah, I hope everything is good. Your studies, everything is going well for you. Nice to see you, bro, and thank you so much for the contribution. You know, you don't have to do that. More importantly, I'm just happy to see you where, and I strongly believe, yeah, that we haven't seen you because of your studies. Not that anything bad has happened on your end. You know, it's all love, bro. We miss you, and I'll try to reach out whenever I can. Thank you so much for finding the time to join us. I cannot thank you enough. Wow, I can't believe that. Ty needs to see that too. I am happy to see Sancho at Chelsea. I'm happy. He's an excellent player. I like him, and hopefully, we did talk about that yesterday. Hopefully, he didn't do well at United. Him not doing well at United isn't down to the fact that he will almost always struggle in the Premier League. Let it just be that the manager, Eric Ten Hag, didn't just know how to get the best out of him. Because look, he came back to the Premier League, struggled, went back to Dortmund, and was excellent. Actually, finished the season as one of their best players. So that got me concerned about. Dante believes it could be either, but strongly believe it's not the case. Isn't that he will always struggle in the Premier League. I hope, strongly believe that that's the case. And once again, happy to see my bro Fahim. I'll try and reach out as soon as I can to know how you're doing. And I strongly believe your absence is just down to you being busy with your studies. Low block, then we need the player that can beat a man to man. Madrid can't. Do you see that now? Do you see that now, Dante? Now, this particular contribution highlights the importance of having Madueke on the pitch. But let's hear your thoughts. Dante, you there? He's on mute. I'm going to keep reading. When he comes back, he can say something. Let's hear what he has to say. So finally, something that the Bluetooth game and I can agree on. Palmer is not a right winger, and his best game has come when he plays a central role. By the way, so it's realistic for him to play in that Felix role. But against Mauricio Pochettino, his best output for us was games he played on the right hand side. I know you could say up, he can play centrally, he can play on the left, in my opinion, and actually on the right too. But Dante, are you ready to speak? Wanted to hear your thoughts on Bluetooth game, talking about the importance of having Modric on the pitch since we'll be playing against a team that defends deep. If he's there, let's hear you. Otherwise, Bobby, if you want to speak about that, let's hear you. The Bluetooth game agreeing with me, by the way. Let's make it clear there. Bobby, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I mean, I can see the sense in that. There is some value in playing Madueke into better and better form.
Hmm.
So yeah, he might start with him. That's going to be important, especially when you're dealing with the low block, because he is good at the ball at his with the ball at his feet, and he is a natural winger. So if you have him on one side and Neto on the other side, wow, they're going to have some problems. Certainly from that point of view. which makes me think that they won't just sit back. Remember, this is a new coach they have. He's quite pragmatic. I don't think he's just going to sit there and watch the Chelsea attackers tear them apart.
They will
No.
try to exploit spaces in behind our
Yeah,
defensive line.
and this is the thing. This is why I think midfield cover. We shall see tomorrow.
Yeah. And in my opinion, here's what we see. If in fact Madueke won't be starting, I think we'll see this. Palmer Central. Neto coming to the right hand side because he's more comfortable on the right hand side. He can play on either side. Then Felix on the left hand side, you could argue where he's more comfortable. But I still think Madueke starts. I still think Felix is not going to start this game. That is my opinion. But let's see what happens there. And we have Prince Louis saying Palmer is not the right winger. I think we'll agree. And his best game, I think we've addressed that too. Carney could play tomorrow. I don't know, but never say never. I don't know. Dante, do you think we'll concede tomorrow? I would say certainly we will concede, but we will outscore them. That's just my opinion. Had
Yep.
Lavia been available for selection, I'd say we're not going to concede, and I'll say that with
I
absolute
don't think
confidence.
it
That's just me
matters.
anyway. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't think it matters till they can get the positional play right, the balance correct. We'll always concede one, I think. So, but I agree. I think we'll still win, but it'll be like a 2-1, 3-1 victory, and I think you're going to see that quite a bit for a little while, maybe for another few weeks. We'll always concede that one goal. But I do think we can definitely outscore the opposition. The attackers we have and the quality we have, we can definitely outscore them like a 2-1, 3-1, most likely. That's sort of my prediction when it will be. But yeah, one goal I think we most likely will concede.
Yeah. Bobby, anything else you want to say? I'm not asking you to do a prediction because I know you're not into that.
What about tomorrow's game? As I've said, it's a game we can win. We play to our capacity, and we keep the midfield tight. Don't leave all these gaps that we've been leaving, and we have a very good chance of winning the game. I know Crystal Palace have a new coach, and he's also a very smart guy.
Very
But
pragmatic.
he sure is. But player for player, we have the quality to win this game, and I'm hoping we live up to our potential.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much, Bobby. Sincerely do I appreciate you finding the time to be with us this afternoon for me. And Constantine Dunn too. Big up to you two for finding the time to be with us. And Rain, I appreciate you. Namaya Fowle, thank you. Nehe and Prince Louise, we appreciate you so much. And the Blue Tiff again, thank you so much for finding the time to join us, my bro. I cannot thank you enough. It's all love, and even though I don't like you. But yeah, I'm kidding anyway. It's all love. Let's say who else is and then my bro CFC Fahim. Thank you so much for finding the time to join us. I hope your studies are going well. I sincerely do appreciate you. I will find time to reach out to you. And to all of you, if I miss your name, apologies. I'm only human. And of course, Courtney. But if I miss your name, apologies. I'm only human. See you guys next time. God bless us all. And cheers.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
Ice in my veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, la 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 la, la 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 la, oh. I'm up again. I got tired eyes, need a cup of blend. That's right, in the AM, that's my only friend. No light, just the sun coming up on the horizon. I lose track of time, yeah, I move fast and climb a new class divine, yeah, true passion shines. And I'm through passing time, I choose stacking dimes. You snooze half the time while I move passing by. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no, I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, in my veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no, I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, man, I'm up again. I got tired eyes, need a cup of blend. That's right, in the AM, that's my only friend. No light, just the sun coming up on the horizon. I lose track of time, yeah, I move fast and climb a new class divine, yeah, true passion shines. And I'm through passing time, I choose stacking dimes. You snooze half the time while I move passing by. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no, I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, in my veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no, I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, man, I'm up up again. I got tired eyes, need a cup of blend. That's right, in the AM, that's my only friend. No light, just the sun coming up on the horizon. I lose track of time, yeah, I move fast and climb a new class divine, yeah, true passion shines. And I'm through passing time, I choose stacking dimes. You snooze half the time while I move passing by. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no, I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la 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 la. In my veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no, I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la 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 la. La 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 la. Oh, oh, man, I'm up again. I got tired eyes, need a cup of blend. That's right, in the AM, that's my only friend. No light, just the sun coming up on the horizon. I lose track of time, yeah, I move fast and climb a new class divine, yeah, true passion shines. And I'm through passing time, I choose stacking dimes. You snooze half the time while I move passing by. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no, I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la 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 la. La 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 la. Oh, oh, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no, I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la 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 la. La 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 la. Oh, oh, man, I'm up again. I got tired eyes need a cup of blend, that's right. In the AM, that's my only friend. No light, just the sun coming up on the horizon. I lose track of time, yeah, I move fast and climb a new class divine, yeah, true passion shines. And I'm through passing time, I choose stacking dimes. You snooze half the time while I move passing by. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no, I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la 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 la. In my veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost.